What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Create the Courage podcast. This is a show where we delve into the art of chasing your dreams, leveling up your skills, and most importantly, taking charge of your life. Now, I believe that nobody is coming to save you. It's up to you to create the courage to step up, take control, and shape your own destiny. And this is a journey I'm also on. So each episode, I'll be talking with people from all walks of life, from all over the world, in the hopes to learn how they create the courage in their own lives. And today, my guest is a man of many talents, from being a professional wrestler to actor to writer. And what brought him to my attention was his amazing ability to do impressions and embody many different characters with his voice. He's beginning to crack the algorithm on TikTok and growing his following fast, which is a testament to all the work that he's been putting in. I thank him for taking the time to come and speak with me today and share his story. So without further ado, here's my chat with MJ, Mr. Bludd, a man that definitely represents what it means to create the courage. Okay, MJ, mate, welcome to the Create the Courage podcast. Thank you so much for being here. I've been really excited to talk to you ever since I found your content on Instagram. So thanks for making the time for me today, mate. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it, John.
Yes, mate. Look, we've been chatting a bit backstage, and we got a little carried away for the people for the people who are listening. But we're getting started now, so I feel like I should have captured that gold before because you're a great talker, and it seems like we have a lot of the same interests as well. So I'm excited to talk to you about that,
Fast
especially.
friends.
Yeah, fast friends. Fast friends, all right. Look, that's what I love about being online. I've made so many friends since getting online, all over the world. It's such a cool thing. Like we never grew up with this type of stuff, so it's so cool to get into, and I love it. But mate, look, I wanted to talk to you. Actually, before we get started, do you mind just maybe letting everybody know what it is that you currently do in regards
Uh,
to online and all that?
yeah, so I since October, I've basically become a full-time content creator. I've been acting and voice acting for about, God, almost 11 years, along with at one point being a professional wrestler, of which I don't do anymore due to injuries and whatnot that I didn't get properly healed. And that's my fault because I should have taken a bit better care in the ring and then after the fact. But I'm also a writer, been writing a book for the last year and a half,
Hmm.
going to turn it into a series.
Oh,
Still going through that first draft rewrites and everything. Uh, and now I do professional wrestling analysis every Monday and Friday night after Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown on a panel with Snug Wrestling. And you can get that on wherever you get your podcast, but Apple Podcasts every Monday
awesome.
and Friday night after the shows go off air on Eastern time because I am in Florida.
Yep.
Um, yeah, so it's I do quite a lot of stuff, honestly, and
Yeah.
I turn this into basically my full time job. And I'm about to start going into taking my acting more seriously because I took a lull period there where I wasn't booking stuff, and I was kind of like unsure if it was something I still wanted to keep pursuing. And I was hitting a lot of pitfalls after COVID. It just felt like the way that everything in the game had changed. I didn't know if I still had a foothold in, even though
Mm.
I have filmed a full feature length movie. I've done extra work, back and work, and we're in the middle of filming the sequel to that first feature that we did right now.
Oh, wow.
And I've been my content blew up just out of nowhere last year during WrestleMania. I started doing wrestling content on the channel. It was mostly just voice acting,
Hmm.
and I wound up getting freaking 6,000 followers in WrestleMania weekend. And then in
Wow.
October, I monetized at 10,000 on TikTok. And since then, I have gained another 40,000 followers since October. Fully monetized my channel. My Instagram up till 3 weeks ago only had 353 followers. One guy saw my content, really liked it. He shared it. And now, bing, bang, boom, I have almost 9,000 followers on Instagram
Yeah.
in less than 3 weeks.
That's
YouTube's a whole
insane.
different story. I can't crack the
YouTube is a
YouTube
different.
algorithm code at all because I'll post stuff that'll get 500,000 views on TikTok, and
Hmm.
then it'll do 12, 15,000 on Instagram, and it can't crack 95 views on YouTube. So
YouTube's a strange beast, mate. YouTube is a
it's a strange
strange
beast,
beast, I tell
but
you
I'm
what.
happy to be here. And um, I'm actually going to be going here in a couple weeks to get some new headshots done, getting the whole beard
Nice.
re-cleaned up, trimmed, and shorter.
Nice.
Been on the diet, the new diet, so I can slim down off my extra muscle and that little bit of fluff I can't let go of in the midsection.
How about
So
that?
I look more, look more alluring to casting agencies and stuff like that. But I'm going to start booking the crap out of stuff here starting in the next week or two.
That's awesome, mate. Look, there's so many things like there's actually so many things I want to talk to you about because I really want to talk to you about the writing the book because I've actually been toying with the idea of writing a book I haven't told anybody, I haven't even talked to my wife about it, but every now and then I just go through thoughts of like, man, I'd love to write a book and there's so many ideas I have and I write scripts for the videos I do on my other channel, so I'm writing stuff, but I'm not writing in the sense of actually writing the book. I think I've been too scared to do it. So I want to talk to you about that, but I want to talk to you wrestling and your acting. Now, this feature film, what film was it that you're in? Because I did see on your Instagram some behind the scenes stuff, but what was the actual
So
film that you're
that film, it had a lot of production issues. So that's The Grip. That film still hasn't
in?
released yet. It's actually still in post production. It's
Okay.
almost kind of in a developmental hell of sorts.
Damn.
We started filming that and doing the choreography for that because it's essentially an assassin thriller that we
Ooh.
started filming back in 2014.
Whoa.
And yeah, so developmental hell. And the director, Jabrell Johnson, phenomenal director, amazing talent. He stars as the main character. And then our amazing producer and cameraman who actually works professionally in the industry, Jonathan Granger. He is insanely two talented gentlemen, great co-stars. But we had the whole cast, everything was written, drafted, correct. We were in the middle of all of the pre-rehearsal and everything going into principal photography. And we get halfway through principal photography, and we've got one guy who unfortunately got into a car accident, got too injured to keep going. We had another two who had to unfortunately move away due to financial issues. We had another person who gave up on the project and wanted to back out. So it came in half of the film we wound up having to recast over and over
Damn.
again, which meant we had to go all the way back through choreography again with all these people again who didn't
Wow.
know the choreography that myself, Jabrell, John, Scott, and Ken all came up with, and had worked. I mean, months at
Yeah.
Jabrell's Johnson's Family Dojo, Taekwondo Dojo, um, and it was just so many things happened. I got into a bad bus accident myself, and
Oh,
for me,
damn.
I'm one of those guys where I know stuff happens, but I have never missed a single day for shooting or rehearsal. I've never been late, and I've never left early. I got into a bus accident the day before two massive fight scenes we had to shoot that took 16 hours to film in a warehouse that builds cruise ship parts that we rented for that day.
Oh, wow.
And I had just gotten thrown across a bus at 55 miles an hour as a passenger because the bus rear-ended a truck
Oh
blown
my
through a
God.
pipe, and I got thrown across, and my body dented the metal hand pole at the front of the bus. I was sitting at the top of the back of the bus,
Oh
so in
my God.
about a second and a half, I crossed almost 25, 30 feet through a bus midair, bend the freaking pole. I completely got bone bruising, tissue damage, and nerve damage on the entire right side of my body, and was
Bloody hell.
practically paralyzed for 3 hours. I had no feeling in my lower extremity
Really?
whatsoever. And then still the next day on a shit ton of ibuprofen, and because I don't like taking any kind of opiate whatsoever.
Hmm.
Um, I hobbled into that damn freaking warehouse and shot 16 hours and took bumps and falls and everything in between and got McDonald's after. So,
Damn.
but that movie has since been finished completely. It's just been
Nice.
stuck in developmental because our editor is also John because it was an indie film. So it was a small
Mm.
crew. And we had an original agreement to get put on Op Prime TV, but the film has been stuck in developmental hell because John works in the industry, our producer, cameraman, and editor. And he is so gracious with his time
Mm.
and he legitimately is such a workhorse, such a great guy. His father had unfortunately passed at one point during production as well, so we took some time there. So it's just been there's
Wow.
so many things that have happened where
Yeah.
he's also been a part of so many other bigger jobs that he's been doing this on and off on the side as much as he can. But there's so many files to sift through, from the
Yeah.
original cast footage to cycling through the newer footage that got shot and all this, the VFX that are going. It's a project. But we
Oh,
are in the
mate.
middle of filming the sequel right now. I just shot a couple weeks ago as well. I can't say anything about it. I can't post anything about what's going on, and I can't reveal anything. But we're in the middle of the sequel now, and
That's cool.
but yeah, it's been really really fun. And honestly, even though that first movie hasn't come out yet, hell, and I've said this a million times. I told Jabrell the 2 3 weeks ago when we filmed, if it never came out, it wouldn't bother me, because I am so proud of the fact that I can say I've been a part of a feature length film as one of the main card, or the main titled
Mm,
actors. I put in just as much work as Jabrell did on the acting and the acting choreography side, because he wrote the whole damn thing, so he did way more than anybody. But I never quit. I gave it my all. And now
mm,
I know that I'm capable of doing that. Also
mm.
doing 7.5 months of choreography. And and by the way, Jabril is not only a black belt martial artist. I'm also a black belt myself, first degree black belt
Really?
taekwondo, first degree
Oh,
black belt
wow.
Shotokan, which is Japanese martial arts. It's one of the younger martial arts because it only came out in, I believe, the 1930s or 40s. It was created. But
Wow.
we're not using stunt doubles here. This is us doing the real slams, the falls, blocking the real kicks, averting the punches for camera trickery. But we're
Yeah.
taking, we're going out there, and we're doing all the risk ourselves. And Jabrell is such an insanely talented individual,
Yeah.
and it's been one of the most fun experiences I've ever had in my life, and I've made lifelong friends through it. So I
Yeah.
mean, the camaraderie of the set is just, it's, you always want to go back. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah, I'd say I completely agree. Like, I like what you said there about the because the lessons you learn from it, the things you take on in the rest of your life, right? Like, even like how you mentioned, even if it doesn't come out, I completely get that because people don't understand. Well, maybe some people do, but not many people understand how much it takes to get a film or anything produced or made when it's such a team effort where there's so many people involved and so many people that you got to rely on to get stuff made. Like, I don't know if you can see the back there, but I've just got myself a camera. Sony
Yes.
FX3, and I'm getting into videography myself and learning how to edit. And because up until recently, I've done everything on my phone, and I thought, I actually want to make a career of it, and one day I want to get into the movie industry. We're actually building. There's two, I think, or a big movie studio being built, literally, mate, 12 minutes from my house.
Oh
That's going to
heck.
house up to $80 million budget films like this. They're even talking about bringing some Marvel films to Perth because I'm in Perth, Western Australia. So sometimes when Marvel shoots, they shoot over in Queensland or Sydney or other states like that. But where I am, Perth, it's kind of like it's a dry heat, and we're hot more often than not. So I'd probably maybe akin it maybe more closer to a Phoenix or maybe something like
It'd
that
be,
in the
yeah, you'd be a
States.
Phoenix, because I'm on Florida. We're a very moist, hot.
Yeah, so we're not moist. We're the opposite. We're very dry heat
Yeah,
and
it's
very hot
walking
sun.
outside in spring here is, after taking a shower, there's no point taking a shower. You'll
Yeah,
be
I'd
wet
die. I
before
would
you get in your
literally die.
car.
Yeah, I would literally die. That I went to Vietnam once, and that was like that. I walked out of the hotel to the taxi. I got in the taxi. I'm like, well, I'm soaked already. I'm like, what did I
And I
bother?
live in I live in Melbourne, Florida, so I'm literally on the ocean.
Oh
So
wow.
it's like it when it gets hot here, like
Yeah.
12 o'clock in the middle of April, noon, dude, it's like drowning outside on concrete. Like
Oh
it's
man.
like the water, just you feel it filling up your skin, your pores. You feel wet and sticky and dirty all at the same time. And we have what are
Oh my
called
god.
love bugs here,
Yeah.
and they mate for 24 hours and die.
Oh
And
wow.
so they literally they come, love bug season we have, when you like hit them with your car when you're driving,
Yeah.
it's like a swarm of them for months. It's
Oh
really
my
bad.
god.
And so when they spot in your car, their guts dry like concrete, and you can't even get them off at a normal car wash. You actually have to do. We have
Oh my god.
tricks for love bug season. Putting a bowl of water out at your front door with a little oil in it, so their wings get too heavy and they drown.
Oh my
Because
god.
if you literally crush these things, there's an orange bulb in their head that releases a pheromone that attracts more to them. So you can't crush them. You have to put bowls of water out with oil to trap them, to drown them. And then you go out in the morning, you dump out this fucking black sheet of dead
Oh
love bug.
my God.
You have to take dryer sheets and scalding hot water to get them off your car. It's
That's insane.
horrible. I remember
That's
working at
insane.
FedEx having to scrub FedEx trucks off. It was so bad because pressure washers won't do it.
Oh
It's
my
you gotta
God.
hand scrub it with Brillo pads, dryer sheets, scalding hot soapy water. It's the worst.
That's
So I
doesn't sound like a
sometimes I
fun
wish
time.
we had a dry heat because our spring is like 2 weeks from now, and I'm not excited for it at all.
Yeah, I think we're supposed to be autumn now. Yeah, autumn then winter, right? Yeah, and it's still hot. We've got like I don't know how to translate it to your temperature, but like next week we've got like 2 or 3 days which is 38 degrees, which I think is quite hot for if you were to translate it into
You guys are
Fahrenheit.
Celsius, right?
We're Celsius, yeah. So
Okay, yeah.
let's
So
just put
yeah,
it this way:
we're like one of
it's
the few countries. I think we're like one of 5 countries left in the world that actually uses Fahrenheit.
yeah.
But yeah, like for us, like for Fahrenheit, Florida, an average day in the Florida sun in July, um, what was it? I had a heat stroke last year when I was
Oh
still
wow.
fed. I had a legitimate heat stroke. All the moisture in my body. I had no water, or sorry, I had no salt left in my bloodstream. I had no salt in my body left. I had to get evac to the hospital off the route,
Oh my
and
God.
they had to give me 3 bags of saline on an IV. And it was 106 degrees that day with a
Oh my God.
95% heat index on humidity. So it was
Oh.
100. It was 106, and it felt like 117 outside.
Oh
And
my
FedEx
God.
trucks do not have air conditioners in them.
What?
It's a steel bread box truck, is what it's called, a bread box truck, because they used to deliver bread in those trucks. It's a steel. It's like being in a steel box on
Oh my
wheels.
God.
The
That's
back
unsafe.
of my truck gets up to like 103 degrees in the back of the truck with the boxes.
What does
It
that
was
do to
that
the products the products in the
they're
back?
in boxes. We literally have to drive with our giant side sliding doors open all
Yeah.
day. We
Yeah.
drive with them open. We don't
You'd
close them.
have
We
to.
don't have AC.
You
So
would have to.
I did that for 5.5 years, and that was the first full heat stroke I had. I had a heart attack on that job 3 years ago in the
Bloody
truck.
hell.
So
FedEx,
it's
man. This
dude,
is not a good ad for FedEx. This is
it
not
ain't
good.
supposed to be. It ain't
Holy
supposed to
moly.
be. Come on, no union. We do the same job as UPS, and UPS now in the States, because they went on strike and complained like a bunch of little bitches, now make over 6 figures a year with. Come on,
With aircon. I'll just take aircon. Could I just
we
I'll
do the
just take I'll
same
just have it.
exact job. How you gonna make 2.5 to 3 times more than me?
That's insane. That's insane, mate.
You
Holy
hike a
moly.
150-pound dresser on your shoulders up 3 flights of stairs with a dolly with a flat tire, so you have to carry it upstairs because you're not allowed to leave it downstairs. You have to put it by the door and take a
Oh my
picture.
God. And take a picture, yeah.
And
Our
we're not
FedEx.
hour FedEx Ground isn't hourly either. It's daily rate.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So you make the same amount every week. You'll deliver 1,300 packages or 1,300 stops to packages in a week. Because I take up to 180 stops a day with about
Wow.
250 to 300 packages in the truck. And you pay me $140 for that day. And it was a
That's
13
crazy.
hour day with a 3 hour round trip drive because my route was an hour and a half away from the terminal.
Oh
Drive
my
all
God.
day, deliver, then drive an hour and a half back with no drive time.
That's crazy. No drive time. Damn, FedEx. I
FedEx
wonder what that
Ground. Drive time pay. Yeah. FedEx
and now we're gonna
Ground.
cut to an ad for FedEx.
Come work for us. You'll hate it.
Oh my God.
Only good
I'm
thing about
always
FedEx
super
is that
nice.
it's weekly pay.
Oh yeah, well that's wow, one thing that you can that you can take away
Because
from it.
in the states, like over 70% of jobs here have become biweekly pay.
Oh
So
wow.
so since like 2014, we had this biweekly movement where almost every fucking job here tries to
Mm.
pay you every 2 weeks
That's
instead
like
of
over
every
here.
week. Yeah,
That's
it's
like over
bad.
here. Most
So
jobs are.
you find a weekly paying job here that pays you at least 750 US American dollars a week. Kind of
Yeah.
hard to say no to that when it's weekly because my bills ain't biweekly. So
Mm. Yeah, most things actually. I don't think I've had a weekly paying job for a long time. Actually, to be fair, until
it's
we started
addictive
our
when you
own.
get them.
Yeah, until when we started our own business, we went to weekly because I was like, I don't want to do monthly. I don't want some jobs over here are monthly. I don't want to do monthly or fortnightly. Thank you very much.
No,
So
some
yeah,
jobs are monthly here too, and it's how
yeah, it's
how.
insane. It's that's crazy. Well, I'm hoping one day I can get into the movie studio over here and actually get to filming some stuff, which would be cool. So back to your
It'll be
film,
good
right?
for you.
Like I've gotten to be an extra on an Australian film that was filmed over here. I actually working at the gym. I signed up a gentleman who I actually interviewed on the podcast, Blake Richardson. He got me into being extra on a film that he was making, and it was just 8 hours a day of just standing in a nightclub pretending to drink a drink. Um, but I loved it. I loved every second of it. I loved just being a part of it. I loved watching everything get made. I love watching the camera guys, and that's kind of what got me infatuated with the camera work. So even though what I was doing wasn't anything crazy, just I get what you mean by saying being part of the environment, just being
Yeah,
creative. Like I'm a very creative person. It seems like you're a very creative person as well. So being surrounded by other creative people, telling stories, trying to create something to show people,
it's a
that's
very
what
it's a very addictive feeling
it is.
because you
It
feel
is.
like you're a part of something that like you're a cog in the wheel, yes, but you're there absorbing, and you're like,
Mm,
wow, I'm actually a part of the process of this thing that I love being made. And it's
yes.
because I did background work for Ozark season three. I even had a speaking line in Ozark season three that got cut. But
Oh,
I legitimately, that was God, 5 years ago now,
yeah,
six
I
years
love
ago
that
now,
show.
6
Love
years
that
ago.
show.
I loved it, and I didn't find out it got cut until it came out on Netflix.
Oh,
But you can see me for point 0.5 seconds running away when they blow up the top of the casino boat. But I
no.
drove 5.5 hours to Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah.
Sorry, to Savannah, Georgia, to film for 13 hours and meet with hundreds of these extras and I mean met actors, met Jason Bateman himself, and got to see the process of everything and going back to one and getting to do the takes and getting the call times. And it was such a cool experience and a process
Mm.
because people really take for granted what they see on their TV and in their
Oh yeah.
movies theaters. When you actually have to stand on a set and you are told, hey, your call time, because you're in this group doing this, your call time is 6:45. You're going to do the
Mhm.
call time. We're going to hit the cues. There's going to be multiple takes, pickup shots, whatever. It's probably going to take about 45 minutes to shoot this section. Be
Yeah.
ready. Go over to wardrobe. They're going to double check your attire, double check your hair, see if you need any makeup touched, and then you're going to go wait over there, and you're just going to bullshit with these people, these strangers, and make fast friends and be cool with people and
Mhm.
network and trade information. And then you
Mhm.
go film, and then you do it again and again and again and again until day's over. And
Yeah.
if you're there for multiple shoot days or whatever, then you're basically going to whatever hotel you booked to stay in, or you're sleeping in your car. It's a grinding nature of a business, but the
Mhm.
grind is fun.
It's fun.
So
It's
I
fun.
literally, like I said, I drove 5.5 hours to shoot for 13 hours. As soon as we wrapped at 1 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah.
I drove 5.5 hours straight back home just so I
Yeah.
could sleep in my own bed at 6 a.m. because I was only
Yeah.
needed for the one day.
Yeah.
They sent me a check 3 weeks later for about 100 and no, that was the other job. This one, because I had a speaking role, I got cut. I got paid 150 for the speaking role, for
Yep.
like 3 lines, and then I got paid $75 for the full. It was like $75 per hour for,
That's pretty good.
was it per hour? I'm wrong. Sorry. The background work was $75 for a full 8 hours. And then when we went over 8 hours, it was half pay on top of that. So I wound
Wow.
up getting like $400, $500 mailed to me in a check. I want to say 3 weeks later. But I even
Yeah.
got the actual slip that said I got a freaking receipt from set. I freaking,
That's
that, because I got pulled over on the way back to Georgia, on the way back to Florida, because I went up there with an expired tag and
oh,
and the cop was so nice he let me go, and because I proved that I wasn't lying, I had the set receipt to prove it, and he took pity on me. He's like, if you drive straight on this and you don't stop anywhere else, as far as I'm concerned, you were just asking for directions. And because I was lost looking for gas, and
yeah. Oh wow.
so it was such an experience because I could have
Mm.
gone to prison, and the cop was kind enough to show mercy because I was just trying to get home. But if you want to talk about willing to risk everything for your dreams, I knew that tag was expired. So,
Got to do what you got to do. You got to do what
but
you got to.
but
Look, I love that.
but you know what? I was desperate for the experience. I
Yeah.
was desperate to feel what it felt like to be on a set. I wanted to know so bad. And I had already been
Mm,
on like the Grip set for that film, but that was an indie film. This was going to be a
mm,
full-blown real Hollywood fucking
yeah.
Netflix production with
Yeah.
hundreds of people involved. And I was like, this is my first time to feel this feeling that I've been chasing.
Mm,
And even though it was one day, it is a day I'm never going to forget because I legitimately, in that moment, felt like I may just be three lines here, not knowing they're going to get cut. I may be background,
mm,
probably maybe not even going to get seen properly because it's a dark evening shoot. But man, right now in this moment know exactly what I was put on this earth to do, and it was to
yeah.
be a performer. And
Mm,
that was what solidified it. And I had that feeling when I was pro wrestling, but the feeling of being a part of the puzzle pieces that go together to put that whole thing together, even if you're
yeah.
just a tiny little freaking middle piece that's lost amongst all the other middle pieces, you are still a piece.
Yeah.
And it's I can say that I can always go back to an episode, play it frame by frame, and pick myself out and go, I told you, there I am. That's me right there. Everything I said I was going to do, that was me. That's where I
Yeah.
started,
That's
and
what
it's
me and
such a
my
good,
daughter did.
such a good feeling.
That's what me and my daughter did. I'm in like two scenes. I'm like one at a bar taking a drink and cheersing with a guy. And I thought we timed that cheers perfectly as the camera came past. It was just this tiny little thing in the background. And then I got to be behind one of the main actresses doing like a dance off. There's a dance off in it on a dance floor. And I'm standing behind there, like in the full scene. So I'm like, I made it. I made it. I'm on Amazon. I made it. I'm like, this is the crazy thing.
but but
I did.
but it's such a real feeling.
Yeah, it is though. It is. And even though I stood for 8 hours, like literally just because there was nowhere to sit, you had to stand. Like literally, you got like a 15-minute break to go eat, and it was unpaid. Mine was unpaid because Australian film maybe not as much cashola behind the production. But I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world because just the experience of being a part of being seeing something get made inspired me to then go and make more things. And a lot of the photography and stuff I do with my other YouTube channel is my way of being like the director, the writer, the creator. I create the scenes. I create, it's my like little mini version of filmmaking in a sense that I get to explore that passion. Even if I'm not doing it in the real world as much, I'm getting to explore that passion with the figures. They're like conduits. I can pull Batman out and pull Joker out and, create a scene and recreate a part from the movie or whatever. That's what I love about storytelling, and the fact that you got to be on Ozark, one of my favorite shows. That's so cool to hear. I didn't know that you were on that, so that's sick.
But I mean,
Uh,
it's what's cool about what you're saying too is you said like it was unpaid because the Australian film industry isn't as it's not like America where we have like specific labor laws for things where you're not allowed to, you know, um, unless someone's willing to do unpaid. But even then,
mm,
most of the time, professional productions will not allow it because there are actual like union labor laws that they will get sued
mm,
for. And what you said was, I didn't get paid and it wasn't worth it. But it's like what you took away from it
mm.
was worth more than anything they could have paid you.
Yeah.
Because I mean, look at you now. You're what 30 to 40 something thousand subscribers deep on YouTube across both channels.
Yeah, well, across that, yeah, I've got 26 now, 26,000 on one YouTube channel, and then this one's just over 3,000 after 7
So I
episodes
mean,
of the
but look at
podcast.
you.
So,
You're doing what so many people say they're gonna do, and they don't, or they start and they give up.
mm,
I mean, as far as your YouTube career is concerned, you are leaps and bounds ahead of me, who can't even seem to crack 300. So it's
mm,
like when I see what you're doing, and I see that awesome framing, I see your background, the back of I see so many creators able to frame properly and make it look so presentable, and this is what I'm working with, and I'm like, I think that's good, and then I look at yours and I go, no, it's not, and then
no, yours
I
is good.
see, but it's like, but I see the awesome chair. I hear that great sound quality. I see the awesome resolution out of your brand new 4K camera, and I
Mm,
go, this is someone who clearly saw that they had a talent or a passion for something or the willingness to learn it and was like, I'm gonna fucking do this. And I'm
Yeah.
gonna try and try and try. And it's so easy for so many people say they're gonna do things. They say, oh, I'm gonna start a channel. Oh, I'm gonna be a content creator. And then that person turns into the hater in your comment section, shitting all over you because they gave up on the thing that you're succeeding at.
Yeah.
And you know, it's funny, and it's always a person with user 2456789 with no profile picture. Just someone
Yeah.
who's a glorified bot trying to bring you down because they
Yeah.
wish they had the balls to do what you're actually doing. So I
Yeah.
commend you because I see it and I go, man, you know, it was unpaid, but look what it gave you. It gave you
Yeah.
that feeling,
Mm.
that hunger for it.
Yeah.
And that hunger's turned into a passion, and now you're cooking.
No, I appreciate it, mate. Yeah, it definitely did give me the hunger. It definitely did. Like, since I got the camera, right? Now I have no experience, professional experience, but since then, I've been able to shoot some footage for a product that the actor actually Blake, he's invested in a business for MMA soap. They do a MMA like disinfectant like soap. Um, for fighters and things, and I got to film some footage for him, which so after building a relationship with him, he allowed me to shoot some footage, which they're using on their Instagram to advertise their product. I'm like, okay, all right, it's that's one step forward. I've gone to the gym and I filmed a trainer that I used to work with, Kevin. He's a great guy. He's a great trainer too. I filmed some footage for him, and I'm like, okay, I'm starting to learn. I made lots of mistakes with the camera, and I'm learning how to freaking. There's so many things to learn with a proper camera compared to a phone. I'm like, just trying to learn how to use a damn camera as opposed to edit on Premiere Pro or add in sound effects or get the audio right. Like, it's such a learning process. But I love it, and I'm like, I would rather still spend countless hours doing that than just go to work,
Yeah.
and just do a normal job or whatever, and live for
Life's
the
too short
weekend.
not to follow your dreams, man.
It
It's
really is.
it's way too short to not to just be like, oh well, I have this passion, but I have no way how to pursue it. That's such a fucking cop out ass answer. I don't know how to go
Yes.
about it. I don't know how to pursue it. Fucking figure it out.
Yeah. Just
You know,
start.
like
That's
the internet's free, man. All the world's
yeah.
knowledge, all the world's knowledge is on one of these. Type the
Yes.
shit in, get on a YouTube video, and start
Yeah.
asking some fucking questions in comment sections. I had a guy who asked me on Instagram just a couple hours ago in a comment, "Hey, any VA voice acting advice
Mm.
on equipment?" And I said, honestly, this is not a voice acting mic. This is a plug and play condenser mic. I said, it's good if you're just starting out and you're trying to get your feet wet, but I said, I highly recommend getting something like a Rode NT1, an XLR cable, an XLR mic with a
Hmm.
nice, usable, cheap, but usable audio interface. Download yourself something free to use to edit audio or
Which
upload
is
audio like
heaps.
Audacity and then get your wheels going. I said, but so you can learn how to edit audio for free, but in a
Hmm.
more accessible way. I said, you don't got to spend thousands of fucking dollars on shit up front. You got to get your feet
Yeah.
wet first and build up to that stuff. And when people are like, I just don't know, I was going to do it, but it was just too difficult. Man, then you
Yeah.
didn't
Then you
ever
don't want
want
to
to
do
do
it.
it at all.
You didn't want to do it.
Yeah, when I
You
hear that
didn't want
shit,
to
I'm
do it.
like, man, you never actually want to do it. To you, it was a phase and a fad where you were like, man, I really wanted to learn how to do a backflip, but it was too hard. Well, what happened?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I couldn't. I was too scared to rotate. Okay, then do it in a pool. Okay, do it
Yeah.
on a
Yeah.
trampoline. Put a
Go to a
mattress
trampoline
behind
place.
you. Like
Yeah.
you don't know what you are capable of past the
Hmm.
point of just talking about the shit you want to be capable of until you fucking go out and try to see just what you're capable of. And
Yep.
then once you figure out what you're capable of, you push your limits and you go further than that.
That's right.
That's what goal finding is. That's what meeting your goals is. The goal never stops. You just
Yeah.
keep moving the goal post
Yeah.
for you to keep hitting harder and faster and stronger targets. That's what perseverance is. When you have a passion, a hobby, it don't just stop at the fucking microphone.
Hmm.
Okay? What are you gonna do
That's
after the
right.
microphone gets you successful? What are you gonna do with that fucking success?
Yeah.
I,
Well,
I hate a half-asser. I hate a quitter.
yeah.
It might be
I
a
agree.
passion, but it's a passion. Okay, it's a passion. It gives you fun. But
Mm.
does it just stop at I do this for fun and enjoyment? If it does, that's okay. Just say that. Because then
Yes.
I respect you. I respect you for
Hmm.
saying, I just have fun doing it. Good. You are
Mm.
totally allowed to enjoy your passion for just fun. But don't go out there and tell everybody how great you are and this and that if you're not going to push further, don't brag. Who brags about passions?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
I agree,
No, no,
mate.
no, no. Brag about the motive behind the
Yes.
passion that's fueling the fucking dream. If it is in
Yes.
fact a goal you intend to hit, no one hits goals for passions because
Mm.
the passion never ends. So what
Yeah.
goal can there be? You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
100%.
when I see someone like you who's like, you guys own your own business and you say, well, I want to do this until the point where it's a full time, that's someone I respect. Because I'm like, oh, good. So you're hustling then. That's
I'm
what you
hustling. Yeah.
do. You're fucking hustling. I respect
Yeah.
that shit. I respect the
I
shit out of
appreciate
that
it.
because I go, I'm out here hustling too. God damn, you feel me? Like,
It is a hustle. It is a hustle. I tell you what, like to make these videos, first I've got to invest like $500-600 to get the figure, and then once I get the figure, I've got to then invest. Like the video I made on my other channel, to give people an insight. It took me 6 weeks to make this video, and that's editing pictures, making the poses. These poses can destroy the figures if you leave them in them too long or you push them too fast. I'm risking damaging the $600 investment that I've made. I then take the pictures. I have to light it. I have to edit it. I put the video out. Currently, the video has been out like I think 2 or 3 weeks. It's at I think 36,000 views, which is I'm
hell
happy with
yeah.
that. That's good for me. But
That's good
that's
in
like
general.
that's like $5 if I was to put it into how much money I make back.
Monetization, yeah.
I've made like $5 off 6 weeks of work, countless hours a day, getting up early, staying up late, doing it in the middle of the day, working my day around to get time to do the filming, make the footage and all that. And you couldn't do that if it wasn't a passion. I don't think like that much time and effort and how long it takes me. Then I have to write the script and then I do the voiceover after. Once I've filmed it all, I have to do the voiceover. Like that last video had something like 280 like different shots that I had done that I had to edit together, and
That's a lot.
um, it's a lot. It's a lot, but I love Spider-Man so much, and I love Spider-Man No Way Home. Like I did a battle between Tobey Maguire and Doc Ock, Tobey Maguire and Green Goblin, and then all these other ones. So I went through all the things that I love doing. But if you were to say that to someone who's not necessarily passionate about it, and they go, "Well, how much did you make?" and I go, "I've made $5," they'd
They think you're
probably say,
crazy.
yeah, they think you're crazy. Like all that time and effort for $5. I'm like, well, it's not
It's like,
about
well,
the
the
five
thing is, the
bucks.
$5 isn't what it's about. The money's not
It's
what it's
not.
about. The
Yeah.
money, see, here's the thing. If you love something so much that you want to dedicate your life to doing it or surrounding the majority of your life with it, the money is the byproduct.
Yeah.
The ultimate goal is, hey, I want to spend my life doing this thing that I love and enjoy
Yes.
so much that it becomes
Yeah.
outside of my family, it
Yeah.
becomes the most important part of my life.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Mm.
People think, oh, well, how much do you make? I mean, I can tell you, but who cares? Like, okay, for me, example this way. Last month
Mm.
on TikTok, uh, I made $1,300
That's
off my
sweet.
videos. But keep in mind, I don't just do that. I also do. I have a private pull route on the side that I do for extra cash. My wife and
Mhm.
I are also traveling salespeople, so whenever that's completely 1099, which for us means self-employed contractor. I
Okay.
don't work for anybody. I represent companies.
Uh-huh.
I do that throughout the year when I want to. I book that for
That's
myself to
cool.
go. Yeah, I'll go to Vegas to do a freaking NASCAR event, like we did last February. Had a
That's
blast.
cool.
Hit the slots. But I also do the acting stuff. I do stuff on Fiverr. I do this. I do that. I do this. I do
Mm.
that. And it's literally me going, okay. But I also drive around and do ship shopping, which is like DoorDash for grocery shopping, whenever I don't have any gigs and I just need to make some extra cash or scratch. My wife
Yeah.
works full time as a security officer at Universal Studios of Orlando,
Oh,
and
sweet.
we literally just got to go to the. This is cool. So Monday we
Okay.
actually got to go to the team early access to Epic Universe, which is
I
Universal
saw
Studios'
that on
brand new
your.
theme park that doesn't
Yeah.
even open for 2 months,
Oh,
and we got
wow.
to go 2 months early. We're going again on the 31st for free because my wife
That's
works
so
there. So
cool.
my wife only works there because it's a weekly paying job, but she gets benefits. And she
Mhm.
loves the employees. She's great friends with all of them, and she loves the job. And we both are fanatics for the park. We love it. So she's doing a job that she genuinely enjoys,
Yeah, that's
but
cool.
the benefits are the byproduct because she's there because she has friends that are there because she
Mhm.
loves doing the work. The free shit, that's getting into whatever park we want, free access tickets to give the friends and family, all that other shit, the health benefits that come included with it.
Yeah.
That's the bonus.
That's the
She's there
bonus.
because she feels like she's serving a purpose.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's so cool.
that's the thing. I can make money. I have 6 sources of income, and they're
Mm,
all contract work, all 1099. For those who don't understand, TikTok, like Instagram, all that is 1099. That is all
mm.
we're contractors. My
Yeah.
Skillshare, where I sell online courses for acting, that is literally 1099. I get royalties
Mm,
payments. It's not about the money. I am having a blast. The main reason I'm on these platforms is I am building my brand, building an audience, building a following because I
mhm,
want people to see me now before I blow up so they can go, hey, I knew him when, and
mm.
I'll have supporters. I'll have people behind me. I'll have people that
Yeah.
if I ever need to crowd fund a project, I have people I believe that will back me up because they believe in my talent, in my ability. They have been entertained
Yes.
by me. I've given them something that they said, "Hey, that guy's got something that gives me the feeling of something else."
Yeah.
And I enjoy. I've had people literally tell me my wrestling content saved their life. Okay,
Wow.
I've had people tell me that they were having the worst day ever, like in detail without getting expletive because I don't want to trigger anybody, but that they were feeling a certain type of way,
Mhm.
a very finite way, okay?
Mm. Mhm.
And popping on one of my Joker videos, my Diddy invites the Joker to a party series
Yeah.
on my TikTok. By the way, go on my TikTok. There's a whole playlist, 2 seasons I did of that of skits
Yeah.
of Diddy invites the Joker to a party. Okay, where Joker is somehow the protagonist, the good guy, and those videos, apparently, I made someone laugh so hard they binged all
Uh,
2 seasons in one sitting. And they said, those videos made me laugh so hard. I think you just saved my life.
that's awesome.
And they said it with a serious face. And I messaged him and talked to him privately about what was going on. Because if I see that, I can't ignore that.
Yeah.
Let's talk. Let's talk right
Yeah.
now. Because you can't just brush that off when someone
Mm.
says something like that. And
You can't.
so, because I've lost a lot of friends that way. And so when
Me too.
I sit there and I see that, I go, you know what? I'm not just some guy making you laugh or impressing you on the internet.
Mm.
I'm actually like touching people here. Like people
Yeah.
are feeling something because of what I do, because of
Mm.
what I'm doing. You could pay me $1 million. It's not gonna match the feeling I get when someone says you saved my life.
Yeah, that's
That,
amazing, mate, like
that is worth more than any money. I got to sign my first autograph since pro wrestling.
that's cool.
I haven't wrestled in 9 years. I got to sign my first autograph at Target. I don't know if you guys have Target in Australia, but
We
Target
do.
here is
We do.
okay. So at Target, down the street, just last week, I was literally in there doing a shop for a customer, grocery shopping for a customer, and this girl walks up with a piece of paper that she ripped out of a fucking notebook that she grabbed from the home section, a pack of markers, Sharpies. She ripped open and said, I have to pay for these, but really quick. Are you Mr. Bludd? And I said, yeah. This, you do the Joker videos and the rest. She goes, I have been following you since you had like 500 followers. I'm a huge fan. I listen to your stuff every day. I watch it every day on repeat. I favorite all your stuff. I've commented. My name is so and so. And I'm like, yeah, I've seen your
That's
stuff.
cool.
Can I please get your autograph? You are my favorite creator. And can I get
Wow.
a picture with you? The feeling I got from
Yeah.
someone saying, I just want you to write your name for me
It's crazy.
because you bring me that much joy. The humility that you feel in that moment where
Yeah.
you're like, damn, I had that much of an effect on you.
Mm.
And you're like, let me tell you the grin that stayed plastered on my face for the rest of the day, where I was just like, I
Yeah.
was like, man, and I was like, when she said, you just made my week.
Yeah.
I haven't stopped thinking about that since 4.5 days ago. I have literally just
That's
thought,
so cool.
God, I made someone smile. Someone told me that my content just meeting me made
Mm.
them feel like they were going to be happy the rest of the week. In this day and age, the way the world is, to hear someone say that you provide them that level of joy, there is a
Yeah.
warmth in your chest that happens.
Mhm.
And like when I see like your stuff, because I watched several of your videos, and I see and me, massive toy guy, massive collector. That's just some of my wrestling stuff, but my living room is plastered. with comic book toys, Marvel Legends, SH Figure Arts,
As it should
McFarlane
be.
series, Mayfex, as it should be. And I mean, my master replica Harry Potter wands are down there. Those are all $150 a piece fucking wands. Those aren't
No.
like, getting them from Universal, who has great wands, but they're not Noble Collection master
Mm.
grade that used to come out in the old Noble Collection books years ago. And, but literally, the feeling of like, when I see someone going through a toy review, like when I see like you doing like your poses and the videos, and I look behind you and I see that beautiful collection of Hot Toys, which I
Thank you.
told you off camera, but told my wife I'm starting my Hot Toys collection this summer, and it will start with Deadpool 3's Logan in that Wolverine suit, and then I
Oh
screamed like a
yeah.
girl 4 weeks ago when I found that they made a Daphne Keene Hot Toys for X-23 from the movie, and I looked at my wife and said, I must have both of them. I must
Both.
pose them together. And she looked at me and goes, how much is that going to cost you? I said, probably like $700 for the both of them. She goes, you don't need that. I said, babe, you remember SpongeBob? She's like, yeah. I said, you remember SpongeBob when he needed water? She goes, yeah. I said, I need that. But when I see that level of dedication to your collection behind you, I go, man, that motherfucker's cool.
I'm in deep, mate. I'm in deep. I'm in too deep.
like, and I ain't pulling out. Like,
I ain't falling out. I'm not stopping.
what is it? King Arthur couldn't pull me out this bitch. like, but when I see like your collection, when I see toy videos, and I told you off screen for those of you watching, when I go to bed every night around like 3 a.m. because I'm up doing content and writing and everything all the time. I fall asleep to toy reviews. I love carbon scoring. I love Spider Criminal. I found a new guy last night that I was bragging to you about, that this awesome Dragon Ball Z figure from this company I've never heard about called Black Hole.
Yeah.
But I just find peace watching
Mm.
people unbox, talk about the points of the figure, show the
Yeah.
detail, the pros and cons, and I just sit there and just lay back my pillow and go, that's fucking cool as shit. I need that shit.
I need that.
I need that
I need-
shit. Like,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then and then and then back to Amazon, like a nigga walking back to his ex, like, here we go.
Here we go. That's what I was like with that Daredevil I told you about. I'm like, no, I'm not getting it. And then I started watching Daredevil Born again. I'm like, I have to have it. God
I
damn
need
it.
it. Speaking of Daredevil, guess what? Because I'm a big fan of Big Bad Toy Store. That's where I get a lot of my stuff.
Oh yeah.
Though they're a little too pricey, but they announced the fall and winter line of their new Legends releases. We are
Yeah.
getting Charlie Cox from Daredevil Born Again as a Legends figure. We've never had one, so we're
Wow.
finally getting one, and I'm so fucking excited. And they're
That's
finally
cool.
releasing a brand new re-release in the Legends series dual pack of Warpath from X Force and X Men, and
Wow.
finally a new Legends X-23. And I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
and for those of you who don't know, X-23 and Wolverine are my favorite comic characters. I showed them off camera, but my
Yes.
favorite
Yes. Yes.
tattoo.
That's a sick tattoo too.
And
That's
it's
so
all
cool.
shined up because that is using it's all shined up because that's using the Rock's new Papatui line. That's the tattoo bomb. But
Nice. He's even got
I'm,
tattoo balm. Of course he does.
well,
Of
I'm half
course he does.
black and half Polynesian for those you can't see. But
Ah, yes.
so,
Nice.
but
Nice.
now I mean, I see your channel, man, and I look at that and I go, dude. First off, I am slacking in the shelf division. Clearly, I got to up my game,
I
bro.
can hook you up with those shelves. I tell you where I get them from. They're Moji Case.
They're
They're
called what?
yeah, they're called Moji Case from a place called Moji Space. They make them specifically for designing for figures. So they come with everything, and you've just got to put it together. So it's
Uh,
literally like a
I'm gonna need you to definitely
yeah,
send that to me, or what? Actually, I don't even have a
yeah.
pen in here. Definitely tell
Yeah.
me
I'll,
afterwards,
I'll,
because
I'll hook you up with it after. I'll
yeah,
hook you up with it after.
please, because those shelves look so dope, and I love the symmetry of them, and I can't
Yeah.
believe how many Hot Toys can fit in each space.
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
what's
I'm
Hot
cramming them
Toys
in.
aren't small, man.
They're not small. They're pretty big. I'm cramming them in. Like that Spider-Man one, I think has close to something like 20 something figures in it. I've got it from like Spider-Man Homecoming all the way to No Way Home. I'm like telling a story through the poses, but there's bigger ones. You can actually get ones double the size of that. It's ridiculous. You can get them for statues, for everything. You'll have to sell an arm and a leg to get them, but they're pretty damn good.
That's
They're
all right.
pretty
I got
damn good.
extra limbs.
They're pretty damn
I
good.
got crutches in that corner.
Yeah. I had to sell a spleen and everything to get these. I do.
Who needs two legs? And by the way, you don't need both. You don't need both kidneys. You know,
You don't need no, you don't need I'll find a way.
I already got a plastic heart valve, so I'm used
Yeah.
to giving away organs.
That's
So
crazy. So, I actually wanted to ask you about that. So you said you've had a heart attack. Like,
yeah, I've had two open heart surgeries, and I have a plastic pulmonary valve. I have heart disease, condition called tetralogy of Fallot. I have a hole in between my left and right ventricle and a ruptured atrium, and I have what's called dysarrhythmia. So I have an irregular heartbeat.
yep.
But The heart attack I had, what is it, March? I had, is it 2025 now? So I had a heart attack. I think it was because the New Year's fucking me up. It was January 4th of, I want to say 2023.
Yep.
2020, I think it was 2023. I, oh God, my mind. I think it was 2023. I'm so fucked up because we're at the beginning of this year, and then the
Mm.
COVID years fucked me up. But it was
COVID definitely
January.
does.
It was January 4th. I want to say 2023. So 2 years ago or 3 years ago, might have been 22. I'm so sorry. But
Mm. All good.
Yeah, I had it on the job at FedEx. I don't know what happened. I was fine all day. I went home for lunch because my route used to intersect with my house. So when I got done with my deliveries, waiting on my pickup times, I just parked the truck at my fucking house, went in, took my dog out, played video games, watched TV, ate some lunch, just chilled at my house until it was time to go hit the pickups, take the truck back to the terminal, grab my car, come back home. And
Right.
because back then my route was only 15 minutes away from the terminal, and my house was in the middle of my route
That's
off
cool.
the main road. And I remember just being in the bathroom, washed my hands, and all of a sudden I just felt like a weirdness. And
Mm.
I just saw my shirt. I looked down, and I used to wear an undershirt, like a wife beater, tank top, a main
Yep.
shirt, and then my FedEx uniform shirt on top of that. And I just see this. The shirt is moving,
Oh
and I'm
god.
like, I stare in the mirror, and I go to the mirror on the back of my door, this long mirror, and I look at myself, and I just slowly look down, like, is that happening right now? Is my heart beating so fast that I can see the shirt moving
Oh my
through
god.
3 layers of shirt? I called my mom and I explained to her what happened. I was like, "Does this ever happen to me when I was a kid or anything?" Just no. She goes, "Are you all right?" I said, "I mean, it stopped, but yeah." Anyway, I peace out. Whatever. I gotta go do the pickups. I hit two pickups. I'm fine. I go to the final pickup, and this is where I'm loading pieces of this person's. Like this company makes a bunch of stuff. They put in boxes. They ship them out to multiple different to clients.
Yeah.
She hands me a few. It's fine. She hands me a box. It's no more than like 15, 20 pounds. I lean down and my body stops. My mind goes blank. My body stops. And I just go, I remember literally verbally going, oh, like that,
Oh,
just, oh. And she goes, are you all
okay.
right? Your eyes are glassed over. Do you need to sit down?
Oh,
And
Jesus.
I was like, yeah. And I just dropped the box and just started literally
Oh,
falling backwards over my seat behind me, which is almost a five and over a 5 foot drop to the seat down to the concrete on
that's
the opposite side
dangerous.
of my truck. And all of a sudden, she screams. Her welder, who's a retired EMT, jumps through, grabs me by the shin, and big dude
Oh my
yanks
god.
me back through as quick as he can and pulls me down onto the great steps of my truck. And he just starts going, hey, 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 hey. He's like, are you all right? And all of a sudden, I
Yeah.
felt like from what I understand, a heart attack feels different for everybody. It depends on what's triggering it.
Mm.
And it felt like someone had just taken an X-Acto knife, cut out the outer layer of my skin, peeled the skin back, and just dumped powdered fiberglass down my arm, zipped it up, and then just shook the skin all the way down to my fingers. And all of a sudden, I just feel this rush, a direct sharp pull in, and then a jotting shaft
Eesh.
back. And I remember going like this, and I went, oh, and I just started
Mm.
screaming. And my hands were literally just starting to they were trying to pull themselves apart and squeeze in. And my entire
What?
elbow from here to here is locked up. And I'm just like trying to like clench my hand. I'm like literally gripping it. My wrist is forcing its way in. I'm like starting to like lean over to the thing for comfort, but I'm shaking everywhere. And I'm like
Mm.
like that. I can't breathe. And then this guy like brings over his freaking BPM monitor thing. He puts a thing on my finger, and he goes, "Well, he seems fine. It's just reading at 73, yada yada." And all of a sudden, it goes 73, and he's saying it out loud, and he goes 73. Hold on, 86. He's like, what the
Oh,
fuck,
Jesus.
97? He goes 110. He's like, call this guy an ambulance. I think he's having a heart attack. 126, 132. I start
Oh,
going
my God.
hypertensious. So I get evac, and they're like, yeah, you had a heart attack.
Oh,
So,
my God.
and and you know what? It was 2022 because we were still under COVID protocol at the hospital. 2022. So we
Wow.
were under COVID protocol because I got put into a room immediately. My wife, who also worked at FedEx but was a jumper, had to get taken off a route to drive and meet me in the hospital. We sat in that waiting room for 9 hours. Or not the waiting
Oh,
room, sorry, in my
Jesus.
in my in
Oh,
my
okay.
hospital room for nine
Okay.
hours. But they were overrun. It was COVID,
Hmm.
and they've got me on IVs and they got me on blood. They took my blood 3 times because at first they thought I had leukemia
What?
because they misread my blood count, my platelet count, and the machine malfunctioned, and then they come back and tell me I got leukemia. Then, and now keep in mind, when they take your blood, it takes an hour to get the results to test
Hmm.
again. So they come back a second time. Hey, that was a mistake. Yada. I'm like, it was about to be malpractice suit, is what it was going to be.
Yeah.
And then they come back. They take it again. They're like, yeah, well, you definitely had a heart attack. The scans show that you spiked to the point where it looks like perhaps you had a stress induced panic attack that caused a heart attack.
Damn.
And I was like, but I was fine. They go, yes, but do you suffer from panic attacks or anxiety? And I said, yes, I do, but I can't take meds for it because of my heart. So
Hmm.
they said, but they can come on for any reason. You can be having the best day ever, and it just something triggers you, whether you know it or not. It triggers it. And
That's
so
crazy.
the third time they come back for the blood, they come back again, and I said, well, I want to go home.
Hmm.
Our dog has been at home all day by himself, no extra person, no water. My wife won't leave my side. I said, I need to get out of here. I need to get out of here. I'm stressed out. I feel weak as shit. But I after my last open heart surgery, I have like this PTSD of staying in hospitals overnight. I'm terrified
Hmm.
of
I can
hospitals
imagine.
because I stayed a whole week during my last open heart surgery. I lost 22 pounds in 7 days, and I
Oh, my
almost
God.
and I almost died one of the times over that week. And I'm like, I don't stay over the night at hospitals. Don't do it.
Hmm.
I ain't doing it.
Yeah,
And
I get that.
they come back a fourth time. They go, we're still having problems trying to read your I said, you know what? I said, get me my discharge papers. Because in
Hmm.
America, we have, I'm trying to remember the term, but we're allowed to, by law, call in the chit saying, you have to release me. I want these papers.
Hmm.
And they're not allowed to argue. They have to give them to you to let you out and walk straight the fuck out. Unless you
Wow.
are a danger to yourself or others, they have to.
Yeah.
And doesn't matter what condition you're in.
Wow.
So she says, "Well, she said, we still need a little more time." I said, "We've been here almost 10 hours." And I just yelled at her. I said, "If you don't come back here with those discharge papers, I swear, in 5 fucking seconds, I'm gonna rip this shit out of my arm." And she goes, "Sir, if you would please just calm." I grabbed that tube. I started pulling it as
Oh,
as I'm
God.
pulling it out of my arm. I was
Ugh,
so,
that
I
feeling
was,
too.
I was. Oh, but I felt a lot worse. But I was
Yeah.
so angry that the adrenaline didn't matter. And she's like, okay, 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 okay. She goes and gets the paperwork prints. She's like, here you go, sir. You can leave whenever you're ready. Just leave it on the table, yada, yada. I said, thanks. Signed it, and I limped out of there.
Far out.
But then
That's insane story, man.
it turned out you can have, so here's the funny thing. A fact I found out. The average person is completely capable of having a heart attack without knowing they've ever had one.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you can have a heart attack and never know you had one. You thought, oh, you were just breathing too hard. Oh,
Mm.
you had a panic attack. Oh, you just got too stressed out and you got too afraid or something. So you were just like hyperventilating. It turned out my mom's had like 2 or 3 mini heart attacks when she went in for a test a couple years ago for something else, and they
Mm.
did a scan and said, yeah, you've had a heart attack. And she's had like 3 according to the stress lines on her heart that have happened because it leaves behind
Wow.
traces on your heart.
Mm.
And she's like, but the doc says, but you would have never known it because
Yeah, that's
you can
insane.
literally just you can have a heart attack in your sleep, wake up and not know you've had one.
Mm.
So
You know, oh, that's
point is
crazy,
take
man.
care of yourself. Just take
That's
care of yourself.
crazy. Well, Thanks for sharing that because I'll share with you now what happened to me. I think it was in December, this last December. I had a panic attack. Now, I think I've had one other one in my life, and it was quite a few years ago. This one, though, came out of nowhere, like you said, right? Nothing's going on. We went out to dinner with family, not stressing about anything. Everything's all good. I had a big beer. We went actually got like fried chicken, Korean fried chicken, with a big glass of beer. It was so good. And I felt quite tipsy off it. I felt quite tipsy. I'm like, I'm actually pretty tipsy off that beer. Anyway, I went to sit down on the couch. I sat down like this, and I felt this sharp pain go through my chest. Like
Yeah,
it felt like a lightning strike went
yeah,
through my chest. And I was like, oh shit, that like felt funny. This is why I thought it was a heart attack. And I'm like, damn. So I was like, then I started feeling really woozy. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to go to the toilet. Went to the toilet. I came back out. Everyone's like, you look white. Look, I'm white as it is, but they're like, you look white as a ghost. And I'm like, I'm even more pale than I normally am. Um, and I was like, I feel like really like woozy and sick. So we're like, all right, we'll go home, we'll just go home, whatever. In the car, I started getting tingling pains in both my
yeah,
hands. My hands started like really like tingling and feeling like cold and tingling needles
yeah,
like going through my hands or whatever. Then I started really like feeling like someone was sitting on my chest or like really like had so much
yeah.
pressure on my chest. I'm
Heavy.
like, I think I'm having a heart attack. I'm like to my wife, I'm like, I scared the crap out of her. I'm like, I think you might need to take me to the hospital. I'm feeling like really sick. Anyway, and then I said, "No, don't worry about it. Let's just go home because I'm an idiot." And I'm like, "Let's just go home and I'll just walk it off."
We're
So
men. We'll walk it off.
yeah, yeah, just walk it off.
You die, walk it off.
Yeah, walk it off. And I'm like, I really don't like the hospital. Let's just go home. So we go home, and it took me literally like 2 hours of just pacing around in the house. I couldn't sit down. I couldn't get comfortable. Of just trying to breathe through my nose and breathe it
Right.
out until eventually I calmed down, and then we went to bed. And then I couldn't sleep properly, but eventually I fell asleep.
The
Anyway,
scariest part is trying to go to sleep because you're like, am I going to die in my sleep? Like
yeah,
it's you don't want to
yeah,
you don't want to leave consciousness because you're worried about what's going to happen when you're
yeah.
not
Like what
like
happens while
aware
I'm
of it.
asleep? Yeah, that I think that's why I couldn't sleep properly. Anyway, I woke up, booked in for the doctor. I was like, I'm gonna go and check. Went and did tests, and they seemed to think that it was a panic attack. Then it wasn't a heart attack, like on the EKG or
Yeah.
ECG or one of those things.
Echocardiogram. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I got that, and he says nothing looks fine, nothing looks funny here, and he's like, he asked me questions like, you know, it was the opposite. I said like I was pacing around and I felt better pacing around. He said, "Well, if you were having a heart attack, you would have felt worse pacing around."
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
"Okay, all right." So I said, "Well, I felt better."
It almost feels debilitating. So
Yeah, yeah. So I felt better moving around. So he's like, "Okay, it sounds like it's a panic attack." But like, mate, out of nowhere, like I
yeah.
just sit down and I get this pain, and then from
Yeah.
that pain, I must have just subconsciously panicked. I don't know. Like I don't know what happened. It's just
That's what they explained to me because they said that they because I was like, dude, I was having a great day.
yeah,
It was a payday. Okay, I had a new
yep,
episode of a show coming on that night. We had a dinner date planned that night with reservations. I
damn,
was excited for the dinner because it was at our favorite restaurant, pizzeria, our friends used to own. I mean, I had a great lunch. I'm playing video
yep.
games on my lunch. Had a great conversation with my mom. I threw the ball for my dog. I'm like, today was light. It was a light
Holland.
work day. It was a great fucking day. And I'm
Yeah,
like, what the fuck am I stressed out about?
yeah,
And at the time, I was making a shit ton of money versus the cost of living at the time. So I'm like,
yeah,
I'm doing great. I'm just putting away money and shit. Like, what am I worried about?
yeah.
And then on the just happiest day, and then just for no reason at all that I was consciously aware of. It just and the thing is they can't really explain it. According to
Mm,
psychologists and even the ER docs, the panic attacks and you know those anxiety attacks,
mm,
they literally can just be things that have been building up in you subconsciously for years that just
mm.
pick their moment. And it could be there could be no trigger at all. It could just be
Yeah,
your subconscious going, yeah, I'm sick of holding on to this, and shoots it to the forefront of your brain. And then
yeah,
before you even realize you're having a mental, battle with it,
mm,
your body reacts first because it's such an overwhelming amount of stress out of
yeah.
nowhere.
That's what it was.
And Yeah, you can't consciously pick out why it's happening until it's already started.
Yeah.
So we had to turn my freaking my pit bull into a service dog for me.
Oh,
So
wow.
like it's because I went down. I had one so bad, and this is embarrassing to admit, but I had one so bad about 3.5 years ago, 24 years ago, 2021, and
Yeah.
I went down so hard with a really bad one. I literally forgot who I was for about 2 hours. My
Wow,
wife
that's
said I was
crazy.
talking to her like she was a stranger, and I was afraid of her. And like she
Wow.
said, she said I was acting like I was 12, like I was a kid again, like I was talking about my mom and TV, like it hit me so bad, like I mentally checked out
Wow.
of maturity. And she said I was afraid of her. I was scared of her. I was obsessed with touching and playing with our dog, like a kid would. She said I was talking about TV shows she'd never seen. I'm 4 years older than my wife. I'm
Yeah.
talking about Teen Titans and Naruto and freaking Batman and stuff. And she was born in '98, and
Wow.
she was one when SpongeBob came out. So I'm like, so well, God, I feel old, but literally like
I feel old.
yeah,
You're younger
right.
than me.
But it was funny because it was like I can literally say like, and not as a badge of honor, but I can say I've had one that I legitimately disassociated completely from reality. So they're very serious. So moral of the story
Mm,
is people protect your mental health. Take
yeah,
time to enjoy your life and talk to someone if you need to. There is nothing wrong, and men especially, and hear me out
and
on this, men who
especially
are listening. There is no shame and does not make you any less of a man to seek
mm,
professional help from someone who knows better than you about how to handle your emotions, your thoughts, your feelings, and the things that are eating you up inside. We're not in the 1950s anymore. This is not bottle it up
mm,
and choke it down age anymore. You're not a
yeah,
pussy. You're not a liberal just because you don't want to talk about your feelings. In fact, I think it makes you more of a man because you
mm,
have the courage to talk about your fucking
yeah,
feelings and you
yeah,
have
you
the
gotta
courage to seek help because a real man knows that it's okay to ask for help sometimes. You can't
yeah.
do it all by yourself, and a real fucking man will acknowledge his shortcomings.
Yeah, yeah, 100%, mate. I completely agree. Like, I believe that you've got to have the courage to talk about. I'm a talker, so like I will
Same,
talk about that
obviously.
stuff. Yeah, I will talk to people about it. Like, I'm okay with sharing it because I'm like, well, maybe this will help someone else, or maybe it'll give someone else an insight as to what they've gone through because um you can't bottle it up. You can't. It doesn't help any. Like I look at it this way, right? If you don't know anything about physical fitness and you want to learn to get fit, you go to someone who knows. You go to a
Yeah,
trainer or someone to teach you how to get fit. Well, the brain is just the same. You go talk to someone who dedicates their life to learning about it to get some tips because you actually don't know everything. Like one of
no,
the
and you
things I
never
love,
will.
you never
So,
will. You never will. And being like, look, I've had this conversation with my dad recently. We've had some big talks, big emotional, connection talks.
it's good. It's
And
healthy.
it is healthy, but it's freaking hard. I tell you that.
Yeah,
Like, he's from a different generation. He's from the generation of where men we
yeah.
got
Trying to
we
crack the
don't get
chastity belt open on his
yeah,
emotions.
yeah.
I get it. My mom is 72, but my dad is 69, and
Yeah,
and he was military and a firefighter for 30 years, and trying to get him to open up about anything is like talking to a wall. He's like, oh, I don't know,
yeah.
it
Well,
was
that's
okay,
kind
it
of
was
like
fine.
that's kind of like what it's like. And I'm like, well, Dad, this is a different time because one of the
I'm
things
your
that I love.
son, you can open up to me.
Talk to
No.
me. God
Talk to
damn
me,
it.
help
Talk to me.
me.
That's what it's
You
like, right?
then you get the, are you gay? What? Because I want to talk about our feelings.
Yeah.
And when I say it out loud, it does kind of sound a little.
Well, let's just put it
But the
that way
same
where
these
we've
men.
experienced
Well, men sit in silence.
yeah, you will sit and suffer in silence and we'll never tell each other how we actually feel. How about
And
that?
you
Like,
will like it. But oh,
how
by the
dare
way,
you get it?
for anybody watching, I do completely acknowledge and understand the hypocrisy of not only having heart disease and open heart surgery and having a heart attack and still not kicking my smoking habit. I understand my hypocrisy. I smoked
We all have
cigarettes like a dumbass for 10 years.
So did I.
after having a second open heart surgery, and I switched to this, even though it's a better alternative. This shit is still horrible for you.
Mm.
But if you're watching, I understand the hypocrisy. Do better than me while I am trying to do better than I am currently doing.
That's right. We're
Okay,
always just trying to do better. Look, I tell
my
people about
poison, and
fitness.
I like it.
I tell people about fitness, and here I am in the worst shape I've been in years.
Legit,
So I'm like,
I talk about fitness and being a pro wrestler, and here I am having to get back on my fish diet just to trim the last 15 pounds that I put on from my fucking ice cream addiction over Christmas.
yes. Well, I have a nice game. Look, I won't lie. We went out to dinner last night, and I had this thing called yochi we have here. It's like frozen yogurt. I don't know if you probably got something like that over there, but you go
Yochi?
through a line. Yeah, it's called yochi. So it's frozen yogurts, but there's like a whole line like you would Subway, but you pick your toppings and you go and pick
Oh
all your
god,
toppings. Yeah,
it
and
sounds
I'm
like
a
froyo. Oh god, so
probably
good right
froyo.
now.
Yeah, so I had that last night. Even though I'm trying to get healthy, I did a I've got a rowing machine at the moment, so I'm into rowing at the moment. So I'm doing a lot of rowing. I'm like, I rowed today. I'm gonna have a yochi, and I'm
Yeah,
like, the
I
old
burned
me,
like I burned 200 calories rowing. I can have
yeah,
360 calories
right.
of this yogurt.
I actually rode watching. I got a new thing. I watched the. I'm rewatching Daredevil season one while I'm rowing. So I'm going through all the seasons of Daredevil again
Oh, so you're
whilst I
getting some
row. So it's been
sessions in then, because this is some
getting some sessions in.
45 to 58-minute episodes. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I do 10K, 10 kilometers. I think so. What is that in miles? That's like
I think.
what is it?
Well, I don't know because and we use the we're on the metric system, or
Yeah,
we don't use the metric system. Do we? Wait,
yeah,
I just confused myself. Point is,
yeah,
we use feet. So like for us, it's like 3 feet is 1 yard, but I don't know
yeah,
what that checks into in kilometer wise.
yeah. I don't know, like 10 kilometers. Well, I know 42 miles. No, 42 kilometers is a marathon, which I think is 21 miles, maybe.
It depends
Anyway,
because
yeah,
we do here what are called like 5Ks, 10Ks, where
yeah,
like it's where like people get together in the community and you do like a 5K run, a
yeah,
10K run for charities or whatever, and they're regular events that we
yeah.
do all over the states here. But that's the only time we ever talk about fucking kilometers here is
Yeah,
when
so
it's
10Ks.
involving.
Well, 10Ks. That's what I do on the row, and that takes me about an hour because I'm not as
You
fit.
do
I used
ten
to be able
Ks
to.
in an hour. I'm like, God damn.
Yeah, so I do 10Ks. It's not actually. A lot slower than I used to be, and I know a few guys that would just do it in like a quarter of the time that I do. It's ridiculous. I'm actually pretty slow,
Shit, they wouldn't even
but
let me run the mile when I was in school. Oh, I don't know if you guys have that here in elementary schools. We have what are called the mile, and in middle
okay.
school, where kids once a year, for fitness and health reasons, to
Mhm.
basically for the American Heart Association, we have to participate in what's called a mile run, where you have to prove that you can run a mile, and they time you to get your times for your physical education classes.
Wow.
And and my fastest mile is like 18 minutes because I had to participate in the mile, but I was not allowed to run. So I had to fucking walk.
Oh
And so
my
I was
god.
like, if I'm going to walk, because legally, like they were making me walk for legal reasons, I was like, I'm just going to walk as slow as I fucking can. Fuck the rest of y'all.
Yeah,
So I was like, but my wife and I now, we do 2, 3 miles 4 times or so a week in the mornings.
that's cool.
And I mean, I love it. I love it. I love the exercise. And you
Yeah,
know
that's
what?
cool.
It's okay to enjoy some sweets now and again, but we just
Mm.
got to try to learn moderation. And that is something I am not that good at, even though I will preach
Yeah,
it to my wife. I am the worst
I
offender in
will
this
preach it.
house.
I'm the worst, right? I tell you right now, this is how terrible my mind works. When I go all in, so like a couple years back, I was in the best shape of my life, and I was tracking everything. I had the my
So was
fitness
I.
pal, I'm tracking everything, and I was just annoying to be around. Like my wife hated me. You'll eat the same thing every day, every meal. You got to weigh everything. I'm like, yep, that's how I roll. But as soon as I stopped, now I'm uncontrollable. I'm
Yeah.
uncontrollable. I'm like, yeah, I'll grab that sweet. I'll grab that. And it's like the
Yes,
complete opposite.
during the COVID
Yeah.
shutdowns, I was my it was easy for me then because I wasn't married because we literally we're celebrating our 4 year anniversary here in June.
Ah,
But when COVID
congratulations.
started, we hadn't been married and we hadn't even met yet. And I proposed to her very quickly because I knew I loved her and I was like, look, I could spend the next 2 years getting to know you, or I can just get to know you over the rest of my fucking life, lady. I love you. Will you marry me? It was like when everything shut down, there was nothing to fucking do. But we were in
Mm,
America. You had to be what was called an essential worker to leave your house.
mm,
So because I was delivery and mail service through DOT, I was essential. So, and gyms were considered essential for health and fitness. So, but you
We
had to wear.
weren't.
We were, because we fucking fought for it, and we argued like fucking crazy for the public to be allowed. However, there were stipulations. They got rid of it, the gyms being 24 hours during COVID, so they were only open mornings to night,
Okay.
and you had to wear masks in the gym.
Mm.
So unless you had a health reason you couldn't, they were not allowed to legally ask what your health reason was and then deny you entry to the gym, because then we could say
Mm.
it was discrimination. So
Mm.
for us, I would literally get up at 5 in the morning, go do my FedEx job all the way until 5 p.m. at night, get back to the terminal, drive all, because I already have my gym bag in the car, run to Subway, get my pre-workout sub,
Mm-hmm.
go work out for 2.5 hours to 3 hours till 8, 9 o'clock at night. Go to Publix, get my post-workout meal or whatever, or my prep, because I was a full pescatarian during the pandemic, so it was all tuna, fish, shrimp. Eat my food, watch some anime, hop on Red Dead Redemption 2 with my best friends, go to sleep,
No.
wash, rinse, repeat. And I did that for months, 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 months,
Wow.
months. I mean, the thing is, unless you're doing it or have
Mm.
done it, people don't understand that when you get into that regiment and that mindset mentality of, no, I'm going
Yes.
to dedicate myself to this, people are like, I can't believe you eat the same stuff every day. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
it's easy once you've
Easy.
got past the hard part of it. It's
Mm-hmm.
almost like your body craves it, the same thing over and over again, because it knows it's
Mm.
working and it feels good.
Yes.
And look, I can make fish about 100 different ways, so it's not like I'm going to get bored of the flavor.
Mm.
So, I just rotate the seasonings and the sauce and the way I cook it. Like when we get off
Yeah.
of here, I'm literally doing macaroni and cheese and grilled tilapia. And I'm going
Nice.
to chop it up and mix it in with the macaroni and cheese, throw some Cajun seasoning in it. I'm going to watch some Jujutsu Kaisen. So,
Nice.
but like, I'm waiting on that next episode of goddamn freaking Solo Leveling to come out on Crunchyroll. But literally, it becomes, when you fall in love with the dedication. Like, people are so
Mm.
afraid to go to the gym, right? Like, they want to, but then they're like, oh, I go to the gym and I don't like feeling judged, and it's too
Mm.
hard. And this, once you get past that initial first week or 2 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and you start feeling just a little better in the joints,
Mm-hmm.
maybe you lost what looks to be a little extra water rate around the midsection.
Mm-hmm.
You feel a little bit more powerful. You slept a little bit better. Once you
Yep.
realize that that's because you were putting in the work, it's addictive.
It is
And it's
addictive.
like, the pump. Like, me and my best friend were gym partners too. We had to take about a week
The
off a couple
pump.
weeks ago because he got sick.
Yeah.
And but that first week, that first day back, we hit fucking think the first day back was chest. It was chest and back day. And walking out of the locker room at the end, I was like, bro, I don't know about you, but God, I feel great. I was like a
Yeah.
week off, man. I was like a week off. And I was like, man, my body missed this shit, bro. And I was like, damn, bro, my chest feels fucking pumped up and swollen. My
Yeah.
shoulders feel like my shoulders fucking hurt. My back hurts, and I feel
It's a good
great.
pain. It's a good pain.
And the thing is, trying to explain that to someone who's not a gym rat or anything, it's hard to, because you're like, what do you mean it
Yeah.
feels good? You said you're sore and everything hurts. I'm
Mm.
like, yeah, but dude, your body feels the accomplishment.
Yes. It's
And
the
it's like,
accomplishment.
yeah, and your body, and you feel like you fucking did something, bro. Like, oh,
Yeah.
I
It's
love
so
it.
it's so hard to explain to people. Like even though I'm nowhere near what I used to be, now when I did some push-ups the other day, I did some push-ups, some sit-ups, and then did a row, and I'm like, damn, I'm feeling accomplished again. Like getting that feeling of feeling, it's the confidence, right?
It's that
What
dopamine hit from the workout.
it's the dopamine hit. And like because I started off doing gym sales, so my job was to sign people up to the gym when I
Right.
first started working in gyms. I worked in the gyms for 10 years. I went from that to managing them. And like I always saw people would always think I don't want to be judged. But then when they realize that no one's actually judging you,
No one's looking at you.
they're all too busy in their own heads. It's only the
Yeah.
people you see on Instagram who wear makeup to the gym to do
Yeah, the
videos to
influencers who wear
it's
a workout romper so far up their fucking ass they can taste the guy who
yeah.
manufactured it.
Yeah.
Like,
And
I mean,
but in real life, they're not looking. No one's looking, no one cares.
and really,
Everyone's
no one's
busy.
even trying to look at those influencers, because everybody's filming everybody now for their content, trying to embarrass them on the internet. So everybody actively avoids lingering too
Yes.
long looking at anybody. Now,
Yes.
like, everybody, if you're at the gym, like, I go to what's our gym here, our big one here, which is like a very famous, popular gym, like a Gold's gym here, is
Oh,
called
yep.
Crunch Fitness. And
Yep,
Crunch
I've heard of that.
Fitness, yeah, and Crunch, that's where we go. That's where all the athletes go. The power, it's a big fucking gym. And I'll tell you what, the atmosphere is great because me and my buddy be there working out. I'll see a dude who looks swole and he's hitting it hard and he looks like he's struggling. I'll literally, while my buddy's on the machine and we're rotating, I'll walk over and be like, yo, dude. I was like, dude, yeah, bro. I was like, you look fucking great. And
Yeah,
I love it, but it's that atmosphere. When you're in the gym,
yeah,
you can walk up to a complete stranger with full confidence and go, dude,
mhm,
you're looking fucking awesome. Keep that shit up. And you'll slap a high five. You'll never see that dude or ever talk to him again. But it's literally that feeling of we're all here because we all want to feel great, look great, and live great.
yes,
And it's a great feeling. No one is going to judge you if you go to the gym. And if they do, then
mm,
they're just an individual jackass.
yeah,
The
and there's
gym
not many of
gym
them.
culture is
Mm,
not normally like that. Gym culture is all about
it's not.
uplifting people, and it's
Mm,
about vibing out to your fucking tunes, man. I
yep,
mean, these are noise canceling. As soon as I put these bitches in, my buddy has to tap me on the shoulder to talk to me. So if
yeah,
I'm in my own world on my playlist, dude, no one else in that gym
no
exists
one's there.
outside of me and my boy rotating on machines.
Yeah,
Don't be
it's
afraid to
getting
go to the
through to
gym.
people. It's getting through to people who
Yeah,
have never done it. That's the hardest part, is getting them over that hurdle of
yeah,
what's going on in their mind about being scared of being judged, because they're already feeling insecure about their bodies. They're going to
yeah,
see people that are, but what they don't realize is, I'm like, I said to one guy, I'm like, uh, once you get in here, you'll realize that these people will actually be kind to you. Like, it's in the
yeah.
real world. So
They'll motivate you.
they'll motivate you, because they're like, yes, you're doing it. Like, you are where you are. Nothing's going to change that. Hiding isn't going to change where you are. You've got to come out, and you'll realize that people aren't as bad as what social
No,
media makes them out to be.
and
They're just
here's
not.
the big thing too is like you'll see someone who's like 280 pounds, 320 pounds in the gym, sweating their ass off,
Yeah.
armpit stains, everything. They're in horrible shape, right?
Yep.
People assume that because they're like fat or overweight that they're going to get judged. No, here you want to know the secret about
Mm.
what everybody's actually thinking when they walk past you and see you and they see you drenched in sweat on a machine. They think, "Good for you, dude." That's
Yeah.
what they think. They
That's
think,
literally.
fuck yeah. Because
Yeah.
what we think is, dude, it takes a lot of courage to come in here knowing, because we're fully aware of the fact
Hmm.
that you probably think that we're judging you. We're
Yes.
fully aware of it because
Yeah.
it's an obvious thought to think.
Hmm.
But what we're really thinking is, dude, fuck yeah, that took more courage for you to get in here than it did for me. Good for
Yeah.
you. We're
That's right.
silently thinking to ourselves, that dude is fucking dedicated. And we're
Yep.
proud of you. We're actually
Yeah, proud.
proud of you.
Yeah, proud. I used to love it when people would come in, like, over the course of a year or something, and you see them change. You see their confidence
Oh
change.
yeah.
You
I
see,
love it.
you
I
you
love it.
see
I'll
them
go up to you and be
doing
like,
like,
dude, I saw you 3 months ago, man. You look great. Like,
yeah,
I love seeing the old people in the gym because I'm like,
yeah,
dude, 78 years old with the calves of a fucking 20-year-old fucking runner. And I'm like, this dude is fucking gonna live forever. Like,
yeah,
but I'm so impressed because I'm like, dude, it's people of all ages in there. Just, I mean, from the teenagers dicking around in the machines to the older teenagers sitting there with their buddies who were all, on the football team or wrestling, and they're all trying to get in shape together because they all want to get the girls. But
mhm,
at least they have a motivating factor.
yeah. I'd
The
rather
thing
them be
is,
there than be
yeah,
somewhere else
yeah,
doing
because
something else.
the gym, of all the places you can go to be happy, feel fulfilled, and to feel good about yourself, there's a
Mhm,
reason the gym is surrounded by mirrors. It's
mm,
because the whole point of the gym is it's supposed to be a place of self reflection where you
mm,
can look at yourself and go,
mm,
I am making the change. I am the change. I want to be the change in the world that I want to see in the world. And I see myself in the world and I want to be in the world, but I want to be in the world the way that I want to see myself in the world. And
yeah,
that reflection of you in the mirror is you basically competing with yourself over your progress. People go, how could, well, people just look so angry when they look in the mirror. Nah. When I
yeah,
look in the mirror, when I'm doing arm day, when I'm back there doing the, this or
mhm,
this, or I'm doing the, I'm staring in the mirror. I sit right there and I stare at myself while I'm
mm,
listening to my fucking rap music or my rock music, or
yep.
I listen to anime rock too, like full on
Oh, nice.
Japanese rock when I'm working, and I'll listen to jazz. I'll put that shit in, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm just going like this, and I just stare into my own eyes. And
Yeah,
people are like, well, my wife, when she started going, she's like, how come you guys just stare at yourselves? You guys look pissed off. I'm like, no, I am literally in competition with myself.
And
So
building, you're building, you're
I'm,
working, you're putting
yeah,
in
I'm
work.
literally, I'm looking at that guy in the mirror, going, "You're going to get bigger than this, and you're going to get healthier than this." And you look like hey, you look like you're struggling. You better fucking keep putting that weight. This rep ain't over yet. And it's
Yeah.
literally just you're literally just challenging yourself. It's a
Yeah.
great feeling. And not only is it great for mental fortitude, it's just
Mhm.
great life lessons. Don't
Yeah.
quit just because it's hard. Push
Mm.
harder because it's hard.
That's right. And
Like,
push through the pain, right? Pain,
oh, push through the pain. Yeah.
like I, people have heard me say this before. I apologize, but I just think I just really truly believe in it. I always believe if someone doesn't know where to start, if they want to get after a career or they want to follow their dreams or they want to do something and they don't know where to start, or if they just want to change their life, right? I always believe that if you don't know where to start, you start with your health and fitness because learning to be in charge of your body, learning to take responsibility for how you feel and how you look. It's not just about how you look, but it's about how you feel.
Yeah.
That's the building blocks to get you to get the discipline, to get used to accomplishing tasks that you then can then put onto something else. Okay, I know how to set goals in the gym with my body. Can I do 10 reps? Can I do 15 reps? Can I do whatever? Then you implement that on the next goal and you use it in every area of life. I truly
Yeah.
believe the gym is a building block for anybody who wants to change their life. Would you
I
agree
would
on that?
100% agree with you, because how do you gain discipline if you don't have a foundation of a proven track record of personal success that you've taught yourself, hey, I am capable of locking in. I
Yeah.
am capable of being dedicated, because I was, 245 fucking pounds, 8 months ago, and now I'm 198. Like,
Mm.
it's because, well, now wait, I can do that. So if I can push harder here, let's say you're a gym guy. If you, and for people who've never noticed, notice how a lot of car salesmen are in great fucking shape. You know why?
Mm.
Because the discipline of the gym has taught them the discipline of sticking to a job that is purely based on commission and sales without giving up.
Mm.
If I don't quit in the gym, I'm not going to quit just because 10 people told me no today. You know what I
Exactly.
learned in being in sales myself for so long? Because I
Hmm.
sell timeshares, I sell race
Oh wow.
packages, all that other shit whenever I do my shows. I learned it takes 10 no's to get that first yes. So
Yep.
guess what? I'm going to get told no 100 times today just to get those yeses.
Just to get 10
It's
sales. That's so
it's
true. I
it's
don't.
and it's okay,
Yeah,
because I
it's
still got
okay.
10 sales.
Yeah, and yeah, well, okay, I got to talk to you about this then. Have you ever heard of? I've listened to. I'm a big audiobook listener, so um, I've listened to a couple books by a guy called Grant Cardone. Surely, being in Florida, you've heard of him. Have
I
you heard of?
You said Cardone?
Yeah, Grant Cardone. He's a
Sounds familiar.
he does a big conference called 10X conference. Anyway,
I've heard of
so
that. I've heard of that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
he's the guy who came up with that. He's got a book called 10X, right? And this when I was doing sales, this is one of the books that really helped change my sales thing. And it's literally just what you said. Basically, literally what you just said. So if you know that you're going to get 10 no's for every yes, when people are doing sales, and I'm sure you've seen it, they get really emotional when they get rejection and get no's. And that's why most people don't
Yeah.
last in sales and they quit because they can't handle the rejection. Well, if you take the emotion out of it and you know that you're going to get 10 no's for every yes, and you just go, it's just a numbers game. So if I need two sales, I just need to talk to 20 people.
Yeah.
That's it. And
That's
so
it.
when you look at it like that and you take away worrying about hearing 20 no's,
Yeah.
there's nothing for you to get upset about.
No, it's I just, yeah, you're it's such a great mindset, because
Right.
and that's the thing too. It's like, and because I've tried to help with, because our team, when we meet together for all these events, which is
Yeah.
NASCAR and RV sales shows and things like that. These are
Hmm.
big events, like Thursday through Sunday, Wednesday through Sunday. We do the Daytona 500 every year.
Oh
We're
wow.
talking hundreds of thousands of people, and we represent like Blue Green Resorts and Westgate Resorts and things like that. And we'll have new salespeople all the time, and
Yeah.
they look so defeated. And I'm like, dude, hey, last year I spent 4 days here and I got one sale. And that was true.
Mm,
Last year at Daytona 524, I was there the entire weekend. Horrible weather, this and that. I could have blamed it on anything. The truth is,
mm,
I just didn't have my pitch right. And
mm,
it took me all that time to get one sale. Okay.
mhm,
These guys, I go, look, I know that you're worried that you're going to waste your time and that you're going to be here all week and you're going to get nothing.
mm.
But The truth is, you could be here all week, get zero sales, and still gain the experience to learn the correct way to pitch a person for the next
Mhm.
show next weekend. Don't get deterred. Sure, did you have a rough week this week? Yeah, but what did you learn? Well, I don't know. Okay, well, tell me your pitch. Well, this, and this. Okay, well, that sounded a whole hell of a lot better than the pitch I heard you give into those first 10 people this morning, where you
There you
ran
go.
on forever and ever and ever. Because the truth is, all you got to do is build the value. Hey,
Mm.
you guys get this, and this just for this. And again, you
Mm.
get this, and this, and only for this. Oh, really? But is it going to cost everything? No, you get all of this for this. Just
Mm.
keep returning back to the close, rebuttal back
Yeah.
to the close. It's only going to cost. It's only going to cost you this little amount of money. But for this little amount of money, you get this and this and
Yeah.
this and this. And you're basically just same thing with life, with your
Yeah.
goals. Why are you focused on why are you focused on what it's going to take to get there when you should be focusing on all the things that you're gaining along the way?
That's right. You
Okay.
gotta believe in it. Believe in the value of it too. If you believe
Exactly.
it, they'll believe
It's
it.
about the value. And and it's funny too, because I'll see these new guys, and they're so, they get so sad about it. And I go, you know what? I'm going to tell you something that my friend Sergio, one of the best salesmen I've worked with, he is so good. He does what's called, I make fast friends and then I go make another one. He literally, as soon as people come into the booth, hey, how you doing? My name's Sergio. Yeah, what's your name? What's your name? Oh, great. Hey, what brought you here today? Yeah. Oh, you enjoying the event? What was your favorite booth so far? Awesome. Oh, I love that one down there. You got to check that out after you get done talking to
Build
me.
rapport
But
quickly.
since you're talking to me, this is what happened. This is what you spun on. This is what you won. Yada yada. This builds a value. Da da da. Yeah. Well, I don't know. But how come you don't know? You know me. I'm not going to lie to you. We're friends. You know. And it's
Yeah.
like, but
Good.
it's that. And because of that, last year at the RV Super Show in Tampa, Florida, he did 100 sales in four
Oh my
days.
god. That's
4
insane.
days. That man, and by the way, the rate that you get, we keep $20 on card, $40 when they hand us cash. He went home with well over $4,000 for
For
four
a week.
days because he also
Wow.
got the bonuses on top of that.
That's awesome.
So it's that
Sales,
simple.
man. Sales
It's that.
is Sales is one of the best skills that people could pick up. And that's another thing I'd say. If you get your fitness down, learn to sell and be a salesman, because if you can learn sales, you use it to get jobs, for job interviews. When you go and get jobs for audition for films and things, you're selling
Yeah.
yourself.
That's
Everything is a
exactly what it
sale.
is. That's the main thing. That is the main thing I told a lot of those new guys last year. I said,
Yeah.
it's not the product you're trying to sell.
It's
You are
you.
selling the customer on you, your
Yeah.
word, your eye contact. Don't take, like, so many guys standing out there in the Florida Sun or Daytona 500. Hey, yeah, so my name's this. Take them fucking sunglasses off.
Yeah.
Make eye contact. Let them look in
Yes.
your eyes so they can trust you. You
Yeah.
know,
You know what I
like,
used to do? I used to when I train salespeople, I'd give them in the interview, right? I'd give them a little test. I'd be like, okay, I'm going to try a little game. I'm going to play a little game, and I do this with everybody. You can either you got 1 minute. We'll put a timer on the phone. 1 minute. You can either sell me a bottle of water. I just have a bottle of water. Sell me the bottle of water. I got this off. I can't remember. I might have got it off Grant Cardone or someone. It's like, sell me this bottle of water, or sell yourself and why you deserve the job. And you have 1 minute. You know, the crazy thing is, 90% of people would try to sell me the bottle of water. They
yeah,
wouldn't sell themselves. And the person who would sell themselves was generally the one that I would hire, because I'm
yeah,
like, because I want you to sell me. This is an interview. I don't care
yeah.
about the bottle of water. And you're not going to be able
No,
to talk to me about it for a minute anyway. Like, they'd
no,
ramble on, oh, this is the best bottle of water. And they'd start lying about the bottle of water because they're trying to
yeah,
fill a minute.
yeah,
I'm like, if you can't talk about yourself for a minute, why would I hire you? Like,
yeah. Because
legit.
at the end of the day, the customer is spending all that time with you, not the bottle of water.
Yeah.
So the bottle of water is the byproduct of their experience with you.
Yes,
So
that's right.
that's the thing. The bottle of water, here's the thing. You can be the world's worst fucking salesman. There's still going to be at least one person who buys that bottle of water out of convenience. Not just because you tried to sell it to them. They're just going
Yeah.
to buy it because they're fucking thirsty right here in this fucking moment. And that's the thing that people miss. But guess
Yeah.
what? They're only ever going to meet you one time, one first
Mhm.
impression, one first experience, never to meet you again, unless they decide to
Yeah.
become a repeat customer, then guess what? You got someone who wants to keep coming back to you because now they've bought you. Now they
Yeah.
want to keep experiencing you. And
Yeah,
that's
that's
the
it.
thing. It's the same thing with acting. Same
Same
thing with
thing.
wrestling. Wrestling specifically, you are selling
Mm.
yourself. You are your brand. You are the character. You are the key between you and a crowd connection. Promo
Mm.
work is the number one way that you sell yourself to someone because you can do the moves. Anybody can learn to do the moves. There are 230 fucking pound guys with not an ounce of muscle on them that are definitely all fat that can go out
Mm.
there and do a fucking 450 splash, can do a moonsault, okay? Can run
Mm.
just as fast as a fucking Nigerian because dedication doesn't have to just mean a physical change.
That's right.
It comes from inside and you pull that out. They can
That's
go out
right.
there and wrestle. Your words. Can you talk to the crowd? Can
Mhm.
you connect to the crowd?
Yep.
Can you sell the crowd on who you are? Can you cut a promo and go, can you cut a promo on a heel and go, you know what? Why are we even listening to you? You know why people are here? Because they want to hear me talk. They want to hear my voice. You know why? Because my voice is fucking majestic, and you assholes in the cheap seats fucking know it. And you can't help but wish that you were half as good as me. And they're gonna
Yes.
boo the shit out of me. But guess what? I just got them to connect me. You know why? Because I
Yeah.
just told them I'm an asshole. I'm a
Mhm.
prick. I think I'm better than you. And that
Yeah.
innate visceral animalistic reaction in the human being goes, no, the fuck you're not. Screw you. You just reacted to me.
Yeah,
You
that's what
just
it is though.
reacted.
It's sales, like, and that's the acting skills coming into play. It's 100% like what you said there about what you said just resonated because it used to happen with personal trainers, right? I would know personal trainers who knew all the exercises in the world, best trainers in the world, but they couldn't sell themselves to the people. When they talk to people, they were like no personality. I'm like, you've got to be able to convince the people to want to give you the money so they can see
Yeah.
how good you are at training them. If you can't convince them to spend time with you, it doesn't matter how many exercises you know. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
that you know how to squat better than that guy over there. That guy over
Amen.
there can carry a conversation. He's got people bringing him coffees. And this is a true story. I've told it before. One of the worst trainers I've ever seen had the most clients because he was so charismatic and people loved him and they didn't
Yeah.
know no better. And then you got these
No.
trainers that have all these degrees and all these things, but they couldn't talk to anybody and
No.
therefore they had no clients and then they quit and then they fall off and I'm like, well, if you just knew how to talk to people you would get so
Well,
much further.
it's like I said before. You can be the worst salesman in the world. Someone's going to buy that water out of convenience,
Yeah.
regardless of how you talk to them. At least one person. It's the same thing with physical training or personal training.
Yeah.
You could be the worst fucking personal trainer conversationally ever. There's going to be at least one person who's so desperate because their wife left them. And
Hmm.
they want to get back the best shape of their life to get back out there to win their wife back. That is willing to put up with your annoying or void personality because
Mm.
they know that you say you know what you're doing. So they will endure training and forking over hundreds of dollars in cash to you and tipping you at the end on the touch screen. I don't know how we got the touch screen tipping at the end of a personal training, but
That's
literally
crazy.
they'll deal with you because they go, well, this guy obviously knows better. And so what?
Mm.
I've had teachers I didn't get along with, and I have coworkers I don't get along with. This guy isn't here to
Hmm.
be my friend; he's here to be my trainer. So they'll pay you anyway. But here's the
Hmm.
thing: eventually, that same guy who's willing to do it out of convenience, well, there comes the next guy who's going to
Mm.
go, hey, I'm not just here for the convenience; I'm here for the experience. And the
That's right.
experience is, hey, if I'm going to be coming to you, giving you hundreds of dollars a week, hundreds of dollars a session, and I'm going to commit to this and commit to you and have you commit back to me, I need to know that I can trust you. And I only
Mm.
trust people that I feel I have a connection with,
Mm.
which is most people feel that they only trust someone that they can laugh with, talk with, feel genuine with. You sure, you'll train me, but guess what? I wouldn't recommend anybody else to you because
That's
I
right.
don't want anybody else to feel like you're a prick either, and then hate me because I put them with a guy that can't hold a
Right.
conversation, doesn't want to talk to him, spends the
Yeah.
whole time, spends the entire time while he's telling you to do the most mundane fucking workouts ever. Oh yeah, just do like 10 sit-ups and then do a plank for a minute while he's on the tablet trying to
Yeah.
make sure all the information is in for you to tip him at the end or get that sign-up sheet pre-filled. And
So true.
it's like, why on earth do I want to be with you? Because I'm at crunch. We have personal trainers out the ass in there working with people. You know, half of them
Yeah.
are sitting there. There's this one lady who's in all of their Facebook advertisements for that personal location. I see her all the time on Facebook. She's literally there with the girls, like showing them, okay, here's your way. Now let's see you come up to here. Okay, come up
Yeah.
to here.
Like
And then
it's like they
she'll
care.
see, yeah, she'll
Like
see guys literally checking those girls out, and I've literally seen her stand in front of them to block their bodies while they're
yeah.
trying to work out. And she's literally trying to like protect these girls and train them at the same time. And they're laughing with her and they're joking with her. She'll be like, "Oh, be right back." She'll run off, grab bottles of water, bring it back here. Make sure you stay hydrated. That's a great trainer. I've also
Yeah.
seen the same fucking trainers sit there on their phones like this, post it up at the person's machine they're training. And they do this joint. Oh yeah, you're good. We're gonna go over that
Mm.
one in 10 minutes. Now you do one more set of 10. Try to keep your legs a little bit straighter. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I don't want to pay you $120 an hour. You
Yeah,
know?
100%. It feels like that's where they feel like they don't give a shit. It's so true. But look, people just need to learn sales. If you can learn sales and learn how to talk to people with any jobs, I feel like you can get ahead in any, like
It's
even with
also just great life skills
just great
because
life
I mean,
skills.
sales teaches you perseverance, not giving up. It also teaches you to remain honest and have
Yeah,
integrity because a great salesman doesn't have to lie to you to sell you anything.
that's right. They be genuine, and I feel like people can feel that. They can notice that. They can feel the genuine and like the how genuine you are, and then it makes them want to buy from you. 100%. Like when I used to have to train people, I would struggle because our company would have scripts. Like you've got to sell with
Oh
scripts,
yeah,
and
yeah,
but I never used the scripts because I would do what you said. I would literally just like I signed up a girl once. I think I literally spoke to her about the sales process for like 2 minutes. She came in with like X-Men socks on. So I'm like, X-Men. I'm like, X-Men, that's awesome. I'm like, do you like X-Men? And she's like, yeah, I love X-Men. We talked about comics and movies for like half an hour. And then at the end, I'm like, well, look, there's this one and there's this one, which suits you better. And then she picked that one. I'm like, fantastic. Because literally no objections, nothing, because I
yeah,
took the time to notice something about her, talk to
yeah.
something that she loved about. And I'm like, I don't know how to teach other people that because
It's because
like,
you treated her. It's because you treated her like a person and not a dollar sign.
yeah,
And
right.
and that's the thing that so many salespeople miss because I used to work at a call center where we sold and set up satellite internet, and we were customer service. And
Yeah.
before I became the team the lead on the floor for that, I remember I was God, it was 2016, and I was or 2015. It was the same WrestleMania that the Undertaker lost the streak to Brock Lesnar. I want to say that
Oh,
was
yeah.
2015 or
I remember that.
14 in Louisiana. And I remember that I was going to be late to seeing the show because I got screwed over because the next person didn't come in and I was going to have to stay to keep covering the whatever. I get on the phone with someone. I'm setting up DirecTV, a combo DirecTV with satellite internet, and I was just like, oh yeah, yeah. And they're like, how you doing today? I was like, oh, I'm doing great. We have a script. And they mention what it's looser on the DirecTV side because it was a third party call center. We're representing multiple fucking companies
Yeah.
but it was a looser script. And so he's like, "How you doing?" I said, "Oh, I'm doing great. You know, WrestleMania tonight. You know, looking forward to it. As soon as I get out of here, going home to catch the rest of it." And he goes, "Oh, really?" He's like, "I'm watching right now." I said, "Oh, don't spoil. Don't tell me." He goes, "Oh no, I promise you, I won't. I won't." But yeah, I'm setting Direct TV because I
Sale
want to be
done.
able to get the NFL Sunday ticket, and I want this and that. But oh man, wrestling's my favorite thing. We talked about wrestling. That phone call was supposed to be. I should have had him closed in 12 minutes. That's what
Mhm.
they wanted. We talked for 47 minutes. I got in trouble for talking too long because they kept having to bounce other calls to other people.
That's
But
me.
I didn't, not only did I get him signed up and closed him on DirecTV, I closed him on the NFL Sunday ticket, DirecTV. I got him to sign up for satellite internet in his area, which was only 10 fucking gigs at $99 a month.
Wow.
And yeah, and and I exchanged socials with him and we're friends to this fucking day. Never met in person.
That's
But he's
so
on my
cool.
Facebook, and that's literally all it took. On
Yeah.
that cross sale. Oh, and I got him to set up a fucking landline. He didn't even need it, but he did it. He's like, if it helps you, I'll set up landline. He said, if it
That's
helps you,
cool. That's so
dude.
cool,
I
mate.
made $290 on that one sale just because I treated him like a person. We found something we
Yeah.
had in common, and sometimes that's all it takes. It
You
doesn't have to
took
be a
the
long ass
time.
conversation,
Yeah,
but
you
I
took the
took the
time though.
time.
You
Yeah,
took the
it's the
time.
time. I
It's the
treated him like a
time.
person. a person with feelings and hobbies and interests, not just
Yeah.
someone who's going to help me get my light bill paid in a week. You know,
Yeah.
like that's the thing people miss. People are people. And in this type of realm we're doing, where we are in a content creation realm, you don't have content without the people, because
Mm.
who are you making it for if no one's tuning in? No one's
Yeah.
subscribing, no one's following, no one's pushing you
Right.
forward and sharing it on all their social. Oh, you got to see this, bro. This video is awesome. Hold on, it's in my favorites. Let me pull it out for you. Oh,
That's
that's
right.
cool. Wait, what was this thing? Oh shit, hold on. I'll go follow him too. Damn, I like that. The
It
thing
doesn't
is,
happen.
but the thing is, it's not. I'm explaining that in a way that might sound like, oh, it's a whole. He's just telling us it's a whole process. No, no, no. Don't get me
Mm-mm.
wrong. It's the process of how it all works when you step outside of it and you realize, oh, that's how you got from point A to point B to point C. Sure, but when you're in it, when you're us and you're in it,
Mm-hmm.
believe you, believe you me, I am not making my videos in the moment thinking about, I hope this gets me 10,000 views and,
Mm.
an extra 50 followers. No, in the moment I'm thinking, man, I want this to sound really good. I want this to sound really good. Okay, I'm on take 32 of this impression. Okay, let's
Mm.
see. I got to nail it. I got to nail it. Come on, you can do this. You can do this. Because I'm
Mm-hmm.
pushing myself too.
Yeah, that's
I,
right.
I also want to, I don't just want you to enjoy my content and pay me. Otherwise I wouldn't fucking try. I
Mm.
want, I want to look at it and replay it 2 weeks from now and still think it sounds just as good as I thought it did when I heard it.
That's what I
Because,
do.
like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I do. If I do like a pose or something, if I'm setting up a scene, my wife will always be like, why are you like I'll obsess over the smallest thing. Like I'll be like, that hand's not in the right placement. And like some would look at it, they're not even noticing it. And I'm like, that hand doesn't look right to me. It doesn't look natural. Because I'm all about trying to get them to look
Yeah.
natural, like it's natural movement, trying to get the hot toys to look like natural body position. So when I do the photography, it looks real is what I love doing. But like if I wanted to just half-ass it, I'd be like, oh, no one's going to notice that hand anyway. But for me, I'm like, no, I'm going to go reset up the table, spend another night, and lose a day going
Yeah.
back just to get that fucking hand right. Because to me, it's about doing the best I can to make it the absolute best possible that I can before I put it out there. So I completely get that.
Yeah.
That's what
Content
people don't
creation will
understand.
turn you into a perfectionist.
It
It
does. It,
it really does, because you're not just in it for the reward of it. You're in it because it's like, dude, I love doing this, and
yeah,
I
I know.
want this to be. I know I can make this great. If not for
Yeah,
anybody else, for me, I
for
know I
me.
can make this great,
Yeah,
and and that's why I encourage all of you who are too afraid to start channels or don't know how to start. Start. It's You're
yeah.
going to learn a lot about yourself
Hmm.
along the way. You're going to learn just how dedicated of a person you can be, and you're
Yeah.
gonna learn, shit, I have talents I didn't know. Half the fucking TikTok community found out that they were funny. That's why about 70 million of them are all goddamn comedians, because everybody
Yeah,
realized, wow, I'm just myself, but I'm quirky and my quirks are hilarious to people.
that's
Damn,
right.
I'm funny.
Yeah,
Like, oh shit. And then now you got a bunch of TikTokers who started off just telling fucking stupid jokes during COVID, or just making funny little skits, that now have their own stand-up fucking specials and
I
shit,
know,
man.
it's crazy.
Like,
It's
it,
the world is changing so dramatically.
yeah,
It's so crazy that you can literally use your phone,
yeah.
to change your life. You can literally use your phone to change your life.
The
And
best and worst creation we ever made, depending on how you use it. You know?
100%, 100%. That actually brings me to ask you something. So you did professional wrestling first, right? So you were doing
Yes.
professional wrestling, then the injuries happened, and is that like when you decided to look at something else? But I guess one thing I wanted to ask is when did you know you could do voices? Like,
Oh
how does
God.
that come about? Like, how does that? This is something because this is definitely what I wanted to talk to. I can do a smidgen of Arnold Schwarzenegger, tiny little bit. That's it, but I can't do anything else. And I'm obsessed with people who can do voices. So, like, how did you know you could do it? Like, where does that come from?
um, so the first job, the first dream I ever had when I was a little kid, I wanted to be an animator. I was an artist as a child. I've actually designed all of my tattoos minus the X23.
Oh, wow.
And I co-helped design my Tomoko, which is still being worked on.
Nice.
But I wanted to be an animator. I was obsessed with Scooby Doo and
Hmm.
Teen Titans. When I was a kid, I Scooby Doo was my everything. I still have my original Scooby Doo pillow buddy that my mom bought for me in the mall, Melbourne Mall, and we were going to see Spider Man 1 in theaters. And she picked me
Oh,
up new
wow.
bed sheets on the way to the theater. and that pillow buddy came with it. She even for my 21st birthday had it restuffed and sent back to me refurbished,
That's cool.
and it sits. And I've had that thing for 24ish years now, 23
That's
years,
cool.
and when I was a kid, I was drawing Teen Titans fan fiction, like not dirty, but like the stories that I thought would be cool.
Yeah.
And I always had a more mature mindset when I was a kid. Like I wanted to see them in more like adult, like aggressive situations, like more blood, and this is a
Mhm.
violent thing. What if Robin got kidnapped and tortured, or
Mm.
Raven, like what if Raven faced off against Slade, but he brutally beat her? Like what happened when the cave fell on Tara? Like things like my brain just went to these. These are stories that my adolescent brain wants to see these more mature themes, because the show was already so mature for what it was. It dealt with so many
Mm.
mature themes that I thought, well, God, I went to bed thinking about it. Everything I drew was about it. All
That's
my
cool.
toys were Teen Titans, comic
Nice.
book toys, everything. And I started when I would play with my figures, I was so meticulous playing with them that I wouldn't just smash them into each other. They would be like, as they're moving, I would learn to like articulate their bodies while they were moving
Oh,
in the
wow.
box. And
That's
I
cool.
practiced to where I had this whole world thing where the top of my entire toy chest was all of my favorite figures. And I was like, well, this whole storyline that ran on for years, I had storylines that I wrote
That's cool.
on pad and paper. And I was like, what if all of the biggest heroes from their individual worlds got zapped into the same universe and had to fight each other, and only one person could win? But then
That's
the big bads show up and they've all got to team up together. But these big bads are too tough for any of them to just handle on their own. And I would like dig holes in the backyard and jump down them and play with
Oh
these
my
these
god. I used to
like
do that with GI Joes. I created worlds in my backyard, like dirt
so did
piles,
I
everything.
had GI Joes too, man. My GI Joes, and people, this name might trigger a lot of people who won't remember Max Steel.
Mhm. I
So
remember Max Steel.
the Max Steel, which was the essential spiritual successor to GI Joe, and but in order to do these toys, I was like, well, I don't want them to just sound like me. I want them to
Mm.
sound as close to them as I can get. I can't
Mm.
do Beast Boy anymore because my voice got too deep. But when I was a kid, I used to be like, "Can you be the animal in the sea?" I don't think so. But like when
Uh,
my voice was so much higher, I could hit it. The first voice I ever learned, ever, was Scooby Doo and Beast Boy,
wow.
and it went from there. And then for a while, I went from wanting to be an animator to an actor and director. And I had these scholarships, a bunch of scholarships. I graduated school with a 4.0 and a fucking 4.0 GPA, 138 IQ, and I had tested into all these scholarships. And I wanted to go to Full Sail University over in Orlando, which is our art, film, and direct like
Okay.
college over here. And but a couple of years before I graduated school, it became a privately accredited college. All of my scholarships were publicly accredited, so they were all my scholarships. Also, getting a scholarship for being awarded to the state because I was a foster kid. So, the state of Florida, when you're a foster kid and an orphan, the state will literally have 4 years of college on the house waiting for you when you
Oh, wow.
graduate. But they were all for publicly accredited colleges, so I could go to any
Mm.
college I wanted to, except for the one I
Damn.
wanted to. And it also helped the fact that as a massive professional wrestling fan back then, uh, WWE had just built NXT in their performance center on the back of Full Sail University's lot.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, that's where all they do all their training. It's in Orlando, Florida, on the back of Full Sail University. That's literally where WWE's NXT is. From here, 45 and a half minutes.
Oh, wow.
So I thought, well, it crushed my dreams, couldn't get in. So then I went to Georgia, trained to be a pro wrestler because my parents moved up there, and I didn't know what I was going to do after I graduated. So there was Fannin Lanes, which was a Deep South Championship Wrestling, which trained and ran shows every Thursday night outside of Morganton, Georgia, right
Mm.
outside the outskirts of the Blue Ridge Mountains. And I got trained by a guy named, funnily enough, massive Scooby Doo fan, a wrestler by the name of Shaggy.
Oh,
And
wow.
I adopted the moniker Brother Blood that was my gimmick, Brother Blood. I was a gothic cult leader
Mhm.
because the Straight Edge Society was big at the time, the Shield was big at the time, but I was also a massive fan of Gothica, and I'm a huge punk fan, and I remembered my love for Teen Titans. And
Mm.
so I fuse a character, and the Teen Titans big bad is Brother Blood. So
Mm.
now he spelled Blood, but I didn't want to copy that. So I was like, well, how can I spell blood in a way that would look cool on paper but scary? And I was like, well, Bludd sounds like it could be blood in a different language.
Mhm.
So I put in whiteout contacts, shaved my head, a single long goatee with all this cut off and no mustache. And I put on a deep voice. I tried to emulate fucking the Shield, so I wore flak pants, tucked into boots, wife beater like I used to wear when I backyard wrestled for years. Because I backyard
Yeah.
wrestled actually. That's another thing. That's how my wrestling love started. Was backyard wrestling for about 9 years on a
Oh, wow.
YouTube channel. And I painted my fingernails black, eyeliner, black lipstick, and then I lowered my voice. My name is Brother Blood, and I'm here to save professional wrestling from you, the fans, the fanatics. Keyword fanatic, obsessive, compulsive, and incredibly indicative of the very pure nature of what internet wrestling is. You make me sick. You will all be baptized in blood.
That's
And
so
that was,
cool, man.
and my finisher
So
was the
cool.
blood drop. It was a fisherman's brain buster that I called the blood drop. But
That's cool.
to this day, even in my WWE games, that's the gimmick I go for in my games. So, but then I realized, well, Brother Blood is an interesting moniker, but I want people to think that I'm copying again online, even though it's my gimmick. I created that
Mm.
gimmick. That's mine. I was like, well, I'm older now, more mature. I'm married. Do I want to go by my last name, Mr. Clark? No. Do I want, like, what do I want? I was like, well, you don't tell everybody all your shit on the internet, especially, strangers in your comment sections and give all your fucking, my first name's this, last name's this, and I live here in
Mhm.
the city. No, not to the whole world to see, hackers and everything else.
Yeah.
I was like,
I
well,
should
wait.
probably not do that.
Well, I was like, well, hold on a second. What about not Mr. Clark? What about Mr. Blood?
Oh,
And
yeah.
the voice acting, is the voice stuff I started years and years ago when I started learning more and more voices. The voice that I really took over everything was the Joker, Mark
Mm.
Hamill's Joker. In 2015, when that Killing Joke animated movie came out, 2015 and 2016, I was like, I was learning how to do Stewie Griffin at the time because I could do Peter and I could do Cleveland and at this point, I had like 9 or 10 voices under my belt, but I wasn't doing anything with them. It was just entertaining. And it was a
Mhm.
party trick. It made
Mm.
girls laugh and they liked me. And then I was like, hold on a second. While trying to do Stewie one day when I had a very sore throat from being sick, very sick for like a week, I had this rasp that came into my voice that never really fully left. You can even still hear the rasp in my voice sometimes when I'm
Mm.
talking. I have a
You got a bit of a
background.
raspy voice. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, that kind of sounded like the Joker a little bit. My friend Richard's like, kind of sounded like the Joker a little bit. I was like, really? He's like, yeah, do it again. I was like, okay, my name's Stewie Griffin. Stewie Griffin, Stewie. And it was with the rasp because normally Stewie's up here. Come on, Brian.
Oh,
And
wow.
and then I was like, well, hold on. And I realized if I tuned Stewie, made him darker, raspier, that British overtone that Mark Hamill's Joker has always had, that Stewie definitely has, lighten the British tones, elongated the speech patterns. And then I spoke a little softer, but with that rasp. What if I just came over here? Oh, come
Oh,
on, Batman. I could
you're
do the laugh,
so
but
good
it's
at
late.
it.
I could do the loud laugh, but it's late. But
Uh,
then I was like, well, shit. So I went, Stewie Griffin, Stewie. And I just
bro,
realized, oh, fuck. It took 6 months to get the laugh down. I actually threw my voice out 4 times learning to laugh.
really? You're so
Now I
good at
can
the
do it
laugh,
like
though,
it's
on your
nothing.
TikToks. Yeah, on your TikToks, you're so good at the laugh.
Yeah,
Like,
it's nothing to me now, but then I almost ruptured my throat
really?
because I had to go like that, super high pitched, and throw it. That it was literally going
Oh my god.
like that. and it felt like I was choking. So, and at one point, it legitimately felt like I had lacerated my fucking vocal cords or something. It felt
Damn.
like I lost my voice for 2 weeks.
Oh
So,
my god. That was a
yeah,
question I was gonna ask you. Did you ever lose your voice? Well, there you go, you did.
oh, dude, I have never lost my voice more than trying when I had to learn Hamill's Joker.
Wow.
And then from there, I was like, man, I'm good at this. And then I started doing some light videos, never anything
Mhm.
big because I was doing them. I was doing them on Vine, and then Vine goes, and there wasn't really a platform for me to try them on except for Instagram and Facebook. But I didn't have enough following, and no one really cared except for some of my friends who thought that I had like 1 or 2 likes on them. Oh, that was cool.
Mm,
And TikTok came, and I started taking it. Pardon me.
mm,
And TikTok came, and I started doing the voices for fun,
mhm,
doing some monologues during COVID. And I
mm.
started doing like Raymond Reddington from the Blacklist when my friend Haley's father, who was also a good friend of mine, Jamie Ferguson, he passed away during COVID. And I did one of the monologues that I thought just reminded me of him from the Blacklist is Raymond
Mm.
Reddington. And the one where Red is talking to the other detective, the agent, Agent Kessler or whatever, in the box when they're trapped and he's been shot and he's bleeding, and Ray is trying to save him, but he's like, "Have you ever been sailing, Donald? Have you ever
My
have you
god.
ever been at the helm of your own life? Oh, I want to walk the wall again, sail the ocean. I want to have breakfast at the Sierra del Abra.
I just hear
Maybe."
Ultron. I hear Ultron. You're so Ultron.
He's like, I want to read it. And but well, I guess yeah, I'm doing Ultron, but Red is more like
Or Spader. Yeah, it's you
yeah,
sound just like him. To me,
Yeah,
you sound just like
Spader has a lisp. So Spader goes, I'm sorry. I know you think you're in charge, Harold, but from this point on, I won't speak with anybody other than Elizabeth Keene. You
that's
know?
so cool, man.
So
Oh, that's so
yeah.
cool.
Ultron is so much more calculated.
Yeah.
Well, of course you think that, but there is no man in charge. You know? So
Oh, bro.
it was
I love
but I started figuring it out. And then I took a break, believe it or not, from the voice acting stuff because the wrestling stuff blew up
Oh, wow.
last year at Mania. I started doing reviews of night one and night two of Mania, and everybody's like, "Man, we love your ideas, we love everything." It exploded. I did one video the week directly after Mania where I said, "Roman, we're going to get a Roman Reigns heel turn before anybody, or sorry, a babyface turn before anybody ever said it." I was the first person that was like, "I think he's turning babyface." I did a whole video. Everybody called me fucking crazy. That was the
Wow.
first video I did that went viral that did like 200 and like fucking 90,000 views.
Oh, wow.
And people think viral is millions. Viral is not millions. There are actually different sections of viral. Viral actually depends on the level of followers you have. So at that point in time, when I it just my fucking shit exploded and I just burst it up to like fucking 3, 4, 5,000 followers. 290,000 views was viral for that
That's
section of
hell
followers that I
yeah.
had.
Hell yeah.
And then it turned out I was right because when he turned babyface. And then I had people coming all the way back to that video in the comments and replies months later going, "Man, how did you see that shit coming? How did you know that?" And then I became the guy that was so good at predicting shit. Everybody started following me. And then I started doing more and more wrestling content all the fucking time. And then I joined a podcast group, Snug Wrestling. Started getting doing videos with him with No So Wrestling podcast, and I started doing political commentary too, because the way the world is. I just started doing political commentary. Now, to be honest, I did care about the political stuff, but I really did more or less start doing that because I saw the money in it. Because,
Mm.
and that's just being honest. I knew it
Yeah.
would boost my following because the elections were such in
It
the
was
states.
hectic.
It was fucking hell
And
here.
same over here, mate. Like, we were watching. I'm in Australia, and I
Oh yeah,
follow
we
all
must
of it.
look like
Like,
a
it's
fucking
everywhere.
sitcom to the rest of the fucking world. I know we
It's
look like a
everywhere. Well,
sitcom to the rest.
ours are just as bad, mate, to be honest. Our
And
politics are crazy.
well, we'll trade. You can take Trump, but and trust me, Australia will finally have guns again. But it was
They would. They would.
it was so like crazy because the political stuff was great, but then I needed like a detox from it because it was doing great. I was going viral a lot. I mean, it blew me up, bro. In October, I started doing a series again of voice acting stuff for the Diddy invites the Joker to a party videos,
Mm-hmm.
which I did 2 seasons of. And the first video blew up, exploded. And this is actually before I started doing the political stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I just made like 20 or 23 episodes total, like 10 to 11 episodes a season with a conclusion,
Yeah.
with one or two specials thrown in there as episodes. And I got so big, I monetized. Those videos bumped me. I want to say it was like 3.5 to 4 extra thousand viewers in less than like 2 weeks.
Oh wow.
Followers, less than two
Sweet.
weeks.
That's cool.
And next thing you know, I got Joker videos doing 53, 75, 100,000 views. And then I was like, damn, I hit something here. So I
Mm.
finished the series, started doing funny skits to get people in there. Because now I do 4 different types of content. I do funny skits, political stuff, wrestling analysis, and voiceover stuff.
Mm.
And the political stuff boosted me again. Then we got the giant TikTok shutdown happening back in January. I capitalized on that just in case they decided to renege on it.
Mm-hmm.
And next thing you know, bing, bang, boom, between now and then, the political stuff, the comedy stuff, the wrestling stuff, and the skit stuff, or the voice acting stuff, I mean, literally, okay, let me put it in perspective. January 1st of this year, okay, or no, fuck it, sorry, January 19th of this year,
Mm-hmm.
when the when the fucking shutdown for TikTok was happening, on the
Mm-hmm.
19th, when our fucking orange agent got into office,
Mm-hmm.
and it was going to go down until he was able to get it back on, even though he caused the whole problem in the fucking first place. It was all his fault to start. Literally, I had 15, I had roughly 14,000, like 700 views on the 19th of January. 14,000 followers, sorry. 14,000, like 790 followers
Mm-hmm.
on the day that TikTok shut down on that Sunday. Since January 19th, it is now, what today? A full 2 months later?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, but 2 months, yeah.
On March 19th, I literally have 49.2 thousand
It's growing quick. It's
in
growing
two
quick,
months.
mate. That's insane.
Exploded. I literally, my James Spader, Raymond Reddington video that I posted on the 24th of February
Mm-hmm.
only had 129,000 views on it. 2 days ago, randomly, the algorithm just randomly picked it back up again. It's over 485,000 views.
That's
In
crazy.
in 2 days, it jumped over 300,000 views in
That's
two
gone
days
viral.
on its own. I didn't
That's all. That's
promote
the
it. I
beauty
didn't
of it.
touch it. Yeah,
Yeah, that's the
just
beauty of it.
randomly picked the shit up. It's
Yep.
now my highest viewed video.
Wow. That's crazy.
It cleared
It's
my other three that have all broken 450,000. It cleared all three of them in 2 days.
That's crazy. That's like what happened with me in YouTube, right? It took me like a year or something to get 1,000 subscribers. And then sometimes something will just catch, and then you'll get like this Spider-Man video has brought me near on like 2,000 subscribers in the last
Hell
two
yeah.
weeks just from this
Hell yeah.
one video. It's so weird how it works. Like,
The algorithms are
I
crazy.
it's crazy.
It picks you up, forgets you, and then
Yeah,
goes, you know what? Let me see
I'll
that
throw
again.
some love again. Well, the one that you popped up in mine was the Goblin one. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, you were doing the speech that he does to Peter in the apartment in No Way Home. Pretty sure it was that one.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The which one is that? That's the
Norman's on sabbatical, honey. That one. I think it's that one.
neat trick you got there. That sense of yours. Norman, please. Norman's on sabbatical, honey. What's
Uh,
your holy moral mission? Yeah.
yeah, I love that, man. You
My
sound
favorite.
just fucking like him. I swear to God.
Thank
I've
you.
shown everybody. I showed my brother-in-law at dinner the other night. I'm like, look who I've got coming on the show. Literally, we went out to dinner. I'm like, look who I've got coming on my show. He sounds just like Goblin. Because
Thank you.
I love him.
My favorite line from that, because now I'm just going to indulge myself, but my
Do
favorite
it.
line
Do
of
it.
that is He goes, um, um, powerful enough to have it all, too weak to take it.
Yeah, oh man, it's so good. You said I don't know, how did you know you could do him? Because it's so
Um,
unique. It's such a unique
I was
voice.
how did I figure him out? It was because usually the secret to voice acting a lot of time for characters and impressions is a lot of times it's a voice that leads you to a voice.
Mm,
Like Stewie led me to Joker. If I don't learn Stewie, I don't learn Joker.
mm.
Um, but it's like do. I think it was just because I decided, what if I talked like an older New Yorker? Like
Ah,
what if I just talked? Because I do a lot of videos where I have side characters that I need
mhm.
to fill in background if I'm talking to somebody. And I spend a lot of time in New York pizzerias down here in Florida because we got a lot of friends who own the pizzerias. We almost invested in one and bought one ourselves. So if I thought about it, talked about it, lowered it, rasp it, slowed it. Now I'm gonna kill your little girlfriend. Nice and slow.
Oh, bro, you're so
I
good at that.
offered you friendship and you spat in my face. You spun your last web, Spider-Man.
But you hit all of it though. Like I don't hear any breaks where like I've watched all of them now on your channel. I don't ever hear any breaks where you don't sound like him. Like you sound if you close your eyes, you think it's just a clip from the
That's
movie.
what
I swear to God.
that comment. I don't know what it is. Has been the most popular comment, the most repeat comment. Everybody on all my videos keeps saying, dude, just close your eyes. Don't even look at it. Just listen to it.
Yeah,
It's on every video. Everybody just says, just dude, I'm so glad I started closing my eyes on all your videos. Everybody close your eyes on every video. Never look at the screen. Just close your eyes.
you
And,
sound
and
just like him.
it takes you there. And it's on the Joker stuff, the Bane stuff. I mean, all of it. I did today for the first time ever, Venom. Um,
I saw one like that.
I tried
Yeah.
Venom and Eddie. I did a whole video. Now, Venom was hard because I was like trying to figure out, oh, what was that voice? It was what was the line? It was um oh, Eddie, we're going to need a cape and a mask. You know?
That's so cool. And he uses effects to get it right
So he
when
uses part of his voice and then they layer another voice. They layer like a deeper rumble. So they take his voice, he's doing the voice, but then
yeah.
they add effects to layer and stack it so it sounds more, I don't know, Ricky,
But
you know.
man, you sound just
Oh,
like
that's a
him.
red one. No, you know, like, you
Oh,
fuck,
that's
that's a red
sick.
one. You
That
know,
is sick. Man, if I could do what you did, I'd do my videos and then I would do the voices. Like if I had those skills, I'd do the voices to my scenes like that. I think that would be epic.
it's one of those things where I think what helps is so I have an eidetic memory. For people who don't know, eidetic is like photographic, but it's different. So photographic
Wow.
is like, oh, every page I can read it, remember all the words, all that. I remember everything I've experienced in vivid detail, down to
Wow.
what your socks were, even if they were
Crazy.
your socks and not mine. Um, that's one of the reasons I got through school so easy is because I just everything. It was almost like my brain had its own cheat sheet.
Hmm.
So I never studied for anything. So it was one of the things where I think because of that, my brain has the muscle memory of my eidetic memory has allowed my my esophagus, my voice. I'm able to flex it and push the tones back out the
Hmm.
same way that I hear it. Some voices I can't get because they're too far out of my vocal range.
Hmm.
But like if I think of let me just think of Ulysses Claw from Avengers 2 when he's
Hmm.
talking to
Hmm.
Ultron. So if you're not gonna make me see cuttlefish, then I know that you don't do business. And I know you're not in charge. And I only speak to the man in charge.
Wow.
There is no man in charge. Let's talk business.
That is
Yeah.
so cool, bro. Oh, that's one of my
Stark.
favorites too, that
Yeah,
movie.
but it Stark used to say that to me. Stark. I'm not. You're one of his. I'm not Tony Stark. Do I look like Iron Man? I'm sure that's going to be fine. It's just don't compare me to Stark. He's a sickness. You know.
Oh, yes, bro.
But my brain hears that for some reason I can just, oh, Arthur Shelby, you're Arthur. Wait, wait. Just here. Oh, I know. My name's Arthur Shelby from the Peaky
Wow.
fucking Blinders. Tommy, I know what you're doing, but that Paul ain't gonna allow you to do that. No, that's not the way we do things, Tommy. We gash him and we throw him in the cot. You know,
That is so good. I know that show too. I love that show.
I love Peaky
Oh,
Blinders, but it's just it's been a big help. I don't think if I had my memory system the way that it works, I don't think it'd be
mm,
nearly as easy. I think I also have a cheat in that way too because your brain is such a fascinating, exquisite thing that it helps you do things that you wouldn't otherwise be capable of doing without
mm,
the knowledge of it pre-existing. Because I
mm,
know that my memory is like that, the rest of my brain, my body, my muscle memory, like it would be extremely painful for me right now to go back out there and wrestle and take another bump. But my brain would help my body and muscle memory remember every single bit of training, right down to how to safely bump,
mm.
tuck the chin, keep the elbows. Like my, I would feel it like it was fresh pain, but
Yeah.
my body would know exactly how to snap, how to move, how to land, how to execute, lock up, elbow, collar, tie up, rest hold. Like I could do it all again.
That's so
Um,
cool.
the pain would just be, welcome back.
Yeah, the pain might be a bit different. That's so crazy though, because when I think of when I've tried to play around doing voices, because I've played with it before just to try and have fun. Tone deaf, absolutely tone deaf. I couldn't even begin to think like my Arnold Schwarzenegger is kind of like get to the chopper, get down. That's about like I got nothing.
But it's good.
That's
You
nothing.
know what it is though. So the thing is, it's easier to manipulate and your vocal cords and imitate a more unique voice than it is to
Really?
imitate a regular talking voice. Because for
Okay.
some reason, I don't know why, it's so much harder to emulate a regular speaking voice. But if someone has these weird idiosyncrasies and different inflections, the brain is able to pick up on it as a uniqueness because it's such a change from your voice and tone. It's
Mm,
easier to copy. Like,
mm,
I couldn't do an impression of Jimmy Fallon, but
mm,
when it comes to, like, let's say, Barack Obama,
mm,
we're gathered here today uh, because the United States of America, everything seems a little different. We seem very divided.
mm.
That's because the Donald Trump doesn't seem to want unity, and it's because he does not have. There is no way in
It's
hell
very
you could.
different.
Yeah, you when you listen to like a hi, my name's John Smith, and I am 5'9" tall. A normal voice.
Mm,
This is not a normal sounding speaking voice. There's
mm.
something different here. It
That's
sounds
so
like a
true.
character, so it's easier to impersonate.
That's
You know,
so true.
like, oh, but you merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it. I did not see the light until I was already a man. By then 'twas nothing to me but blinding. The
I
darkness
love
betrays you because it belongs to me. Because no one in their fucking life talks like, my name is Thomasy. And
that. Yeah,
I want to, I'd very much like this job at the bank, please. Like,
me and my
they'd be
friend
like,
used to
we're
do
not
that when
hiring.
we worked together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hello, welcome to McDonald's. You know, like, can I take
yeah.
your order? Like, no one's talking like that. No one's
Mm.
talking like, hello, welcome to Target. My name is Arthur Fleck, and if you're looking for the toddler section, it's over there. No
That's so
one talks
true.
like that.
That's
So
so
when
true.
you hear like all these crazy voices that people can do, it's because like you think of the normal speaking voice like just the most mundane, bland voice you can think of.
Mm.
The voices are characters in and of themselves.
They are.
Oh, my name's Christopher Walken. I know you do, uh, but not really. It's very
Yeah,
different. Like it's so unique. It can't.
yeah.
It's almost like you have to change so much of the
Mm.
inflection, the flexing, the pursing, the tone that it literally creates another. It's like they are characters.
Yeah, the sound, like, I don't know how the fact that your voice literally changes, like, I notice as well, even your movement and your facial features change when you're doing the different voices. It's like
Yeah,
you become them a little bit. I don't know if you're not even thinking about it. Is it like part of
I
just
do it
doing the
first.
voice?
I do it first when I'm trying to get into the character of them.
Mm,
So, like when I started Joker, I noticed that I couldn't. I was doing the voice, but I wasn't hitting the inflections
mm,
because the inflections were so very visceral to the movements. Like you can talk like Joker, that's great. You can talk like Joker, that's awesome, Batman. But then you go, oh, come on, Batman.
mm.
The physical manifestation. She thinks she's a coffee table edition. But that's
Yeah.
been the problem with softbacks. Weaken the spine and they're irreparably damaged.
It makes such a difference. It does.
It
It
does.
makes such a
Because
difference.
like Batman, I don't know, Joker, but you're going back to Arkham. There's a difference between you and I. You're a criminal, Joker, and I will always be here to stop you. You know,
Oh,
like,
wow.
but because Batman is stoic, his head,
Yeah, but yeah, your whole, just
the
like you change.
chest,
Yeah, you
yes,
change.
and that's the part of it. Like when I do Reddington, like Raymond, like James Spader,
Mm.
he was always moving his head. There was something. He always tilted. It felt like he was always searching for the next soliloquy. He wanted to make sure that every single word that you heard seemed like it was poetic justice.
Yeah, you're so good at that one.
you
Damn,
know,
that's so good,
like
bro.
because I feel like a great voice actor or even a good one should know that it's not just about the voice. You are the character. Be the
Mm,
character.
being the
Feel the
character.
character. Like if you look at like clips of like Tom Kenny when he was being SpongeBob, he's like all over here. Yay, Patrick! I know, Patrick. Ay, 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 ay. Like, whoa, I don't know. You may be an open book, SpongeBob, but I'm a bit more complicated than that. The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma.
Uh,
Like, like you have to. An actor. The worst performances you'll ever see are the bland, empty performances.
mm,
No, you're tearing me apart, Lisa. Like from the room, like,
yeah,
oh, I did not hit her. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark. It's because where's the emotion?
yeah. Where's the
Where's the
emotion?
emotion? What he could have said was, I didn't hit her. I did not hit her. I swear to God, it wasn't. Oh, I'm sorry. Hi, Mark. Like,
Yeah,
where's the movement, the emoting, the feeling? People are moving, breathing, heart beating, bleeding, fucking characters. Like
that's right.
you've got to fucking James Earl Jones wasn't just in there like Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father. I am your father. He wasn't just
Yeah.
like he's like Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father.
Wow.
Luke, I am your father.
Yeah, there's movement,
No,
motion.
that's impossible. You know, like
Yeah,
there's feeling. You have to move with the words.
yeah.
Otherwise, you're just saying lines.
That's true. That's
And they'll
true.
teach you that in any performing arts class. Like, I mean, when you do theater, theater is all about expressivism,
Mm.
or expressionism. Like, it's like you and you broke me down. And I told you, but I just no, 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 no. Like it's you feel it. Like
Yeah. Wow.
When you watch Andrew Garfield do like theater and he's in an emotional state, you're stupid. I told you. Oh, I can't. Like he's
Bro,
really in
he's
it.
in it. Yeah.
He's in it and he's crying and his eyes are red and he's
You
drooling and his bottom lip is salivated. Real actors
you know what, who reminds me
become
of that?
those characters.
Bernthal. Punisher, just in the
John
last
Bernthal
episode of
is
Punisher.
insane.
He is so good at that. I feel
Yeah,
like he's so good at
yeah.
that.
One badge, two badge, penny and dime red. I read that book every night before this shit, and that was me spilling out of it red.
Oh wow.
The place where face used to be. Like, you know, I think I'm done.
Yeah.
I think I'm done. You know, but when he talks, he has to think about it. You know,
Yeah, like
he
you move the head movement.
it's very. I don't know you. You know, I think you and your fucking system. Hey,
Yeah.
hey, because now Bullseye wakes up every day. He gets to go to the chow, feed himself that slop. He gets to breathe the same air that you breathe. You go with that red. He got life.
Oh, it was so good, wasn't it? How do you remember it also already? I
Yeah,
freaking can't
but
remember any of the words. Like, I guess your memory helps you remember it like that. That is crazy.
even in the small moments, just the when he freaks out, I'm just the. Oh,
Yeah, his
yeah,
look.
you're what about the what about what about your boy Foggy? He get life. You know,
Yeah,
just that. But even in that, his head goes back. You get life.
yeah,
What
yeah,
about your friend Foggy? Like he looks around. He's grasping at the word. He's reaching for it
it's in the
because Frank,
moment.
though
Like
he's
it's like
actually
not. Yeah,
because even though Frank's a character, Frank is he's a very straightforward man. Frank is the kind of guy who's not trying to pussyfoot around, but he's also the kind of person who is thoughtful in the
mm,
things he says. As violent as a man he is, the character is thoughtful. He
yeah,
has purpose and reason for everything he's doing. You know, you see him, don't you?
yeah.
I see my boy. He talks to me. He he said he says, "Get him, daddy. Get every single last one of them. Get him, daddy." Like presence, presence in it. And it's
Yeah,
incredible. It's so incredible. That's my favorite thing about performing. You get to be not you,
yeah. I
and
love that.
that's I love it. I love it, and I love being me. But man, is it so much fucking fun being someone else.
To just be creative though, like to tell a story. Like I love the telling of the story. I think that's why I love like superheroes and film and
Absolutely,
TV so much. Is I love the idea of people who overcome things and do the right thing. And I just love that. I just love stories. Ever since I was a little kid, I just loved film, immersing in the world. Like I'm the type of guy who watch all the behind the scenes, the extras, all that type of stuff. Like I love watching how they're made. I want to know how the writer wrote it. I just want to know everything about what they do. I just love
absolutely.
the, the
Same exact thing here. I was obsessed with makings of. I was
yeah.
obsessed with it. One of my favorite TV shows when I was a kid was How's It Made, because
Oh wow.
I just love seeing how things are put together in general,
Mm,
whatever it is. I love the process of seeing something, all these different components and ingredients and these things, and you put them all together, and they make
mm,
this one thing. And that's why I like behind the scenes stuff. Yeah, like seeing like I told you I'm an avid Lego builder, as is my wife. One thing I love doing is setting my phone up against the box while I have all the stuff organized and laid out by their bags,
mhm.
and I will literally sit there and I will listen to the Spider-Man one behind the scenes, the creation of, and listening
Yeah.
to them, or I'll listen to a DC Comics history, a documentary, how all of DC Comics came to be all the way through the era, Marvel,
Yeah.
the creation of Batman the animated series, how they went from the directors, the producers, and Bruce Timm to how they drew the back with charcoal pastels to get that art and deco vibe, and how they layered the background on top of it, like how we picked the voice actors, like what
Mhm.
we were looking for and what we did, and like I'm with you. I love knowing the little gears and the pieces and
Mhm.
the screws and the nuts and the bolts, because I want to know everything about the thing I love.
Yeah, I wanna be immersed in it, all of it. I
Yeah,
wanna know because when it comes to when I wanna create things, my favorite part that's why I think why I love Tony Stark and Iron Man so much and Robert Downey's portrayal is because some of my favorite parts of those movies is when he's in his workshop and he's building and he's doing stuff because I love being in my workshop, which is this room, building, creating, doing things. I love just the process of doing it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like the process of just making it, coming up with it, and then putting it out there to show the world or to show people and hopefully give them joy or whatever it is that they get from it. It's just the whole creation process is just something that fascinates me. And then when you realize, oh, you can make a living doing it, why wouldn't you want to make a living doing that as opposed to doing something that you don't want to
Yeah.
do?
Now you get a
Um,
byproduct of getting paid to do something you love. So
yeah,
and that's where it's not work anymore. So
Yeah.
it's like, that's why I love the term of we are creators.
Mm,
Content creators. We create content, but we are creators.
mm,
So we're making all this shit from scratch. There's these videos don't get made unless we put every last piece of it together, from
that's right.
pillar to post, from fucking the first shot to the last shot to the edit to the scrub to the cleanup of the audio to the fucking hashtags, the upload, and the fucking
The
tag on the video.
hashtags. Yeah,
Like the
at the
fucking
time that
hashtags.
you post it, there's so much to it. Like that's what
Oh yeah,
people don't realize.
especially
Like,
on TikTok. Especially on
yeah,
TikTok.
it
My peak
is it.
hours, dude, I got my hashtag game down. That's why my video's been doing so good. I finally nailed the hashtags. For the
Nice,
people listening, if you want your videos to blow up, hashtag FYP, hashtag for you page written out,
nice.
hashtag viral, hashtag content creator
Oh, I haven't used them. I'll
on
use them.
every video.
I will use them. Thank you for that. I will use that.
That's for
Um,
anybody listening, because trust me, that's the biggest difference. You're not using your hashtags right. And when it
you got to
gives you
get
the
hashtags.
yeah, it'll give you the preview selection of, you type in hashtag FYP, it's going to show you FYP 1.2 billion. That means that's how many people have used and view the app through that one hashtag, or have typed it in through search. That's why you want to pay attention to those hashtags. If you're a creator and you're trying to get your shit out there and more views, write those down and use them on every single video along with the niche hashtags for your videos.
Yeah, that's what I do. I got like particular ones saved, but I haven't used FYP, so I will definitely chuck that.
For you
And
page, it's their highest fucking one. They're,
really,
that one
okay,
and viral are the most used hashtags that they have.
okay,
And make sure they're spelled right, because there are ones that have millions of fucking tracks on them that have been spelled wrong by a couple million people. So
yeah.
make sure you're not doing FOROUU page. Make sure
Yeah,
you spelled it right before you post.
you can do it. I will definitely use those, brother. I will
I've made
definitely
that
use those.
mistake. That's why I'm telling you, learn from me. But your hashtag game will boost your shit.
Yeah, you got to do, and that's the cool thing. Like, I feel like since getting into content creation and making videos and YouTube and all that, you learn so many skills when you get into actually doing it yourself. Like you learn how to edit, I've learned how to edit, light, film, frame, like pose, write. Like there's so
Oh
many
yeah.
different talk on camera. These are all things that I didn't know 5 years ago. Like I've only been
No,
doing
I mean,
content
I
creation
took
for
for
five
granted.
years.
I took lighting for granted. This is in a holder that's surrounded by a ring light, and I'm surrounded by two very large industry style fucking soft boxes here.
Yep, yep.
you know, and
I've got them.
I have a green screen off screen that's boxed up that I need to open. But then I have all my billers of fucking sound foam over here, over there, behind this, glued to the fucking walls.
Yeah,
Like
there's
the
so
problem
much.
is it's the tile floor, and unfortunately I didn't put the fucking carpet down before we moved in last August, so I had to deal with the reverb. And this office is too small for me to turn it into my closet space that I was
Yep,
recording in our last apartment for the
yep.
full
I
sound
saw
treatment.
that. You had the like
Yeah.
the soundproofing on the walls and everything in it, right?
Yeah, it was that was in a very nice sized closet where I was able to fit my fucking. I bought projectors.
Hmm.
I bought a projector tray.
Oh wow.
Okay, just so I could sit my laptop in it, have the mouse moving around. I have the entire arm gimbal attached to this. So like literally, this is what I'm working off of.
Oh, insane.
For anybody trying to see it, like literally, just this is just a fucking tray sitting here with my arm attached to it. Like
Wow.
you make it work. The thing is, the behind the scenes, but like you make it work
Yeah,
with what you have, and
yeah.
you don't got to go overboard with all the expensive shit and everything up front.
No.
Build, God damn it, sorry, build up
Okay.
to that, build
Hmm.
up to it, but work with what you have. Get
Yeah.
yourself a fucking $60-$70 fucking condenser mic that's plug and play for USB, and put it on adapters and plug it in to your frickin' phone. Because this right here, HyperX Quadcast X, this is a condenser mic. This is not even a standard VA mic. Normally, I would be using a fucking Rode NT1 with an XLR cable plugged into an interface that would then be plugged into my laptop to record. Then I would have to sync the fucking audio up to the video
Hmm.
later and post after using a free
Which is a pain.
plugin like Audacity to clean it up.
Yeah.
I'm doing TikTok and shit, nigga. I ain't doing all of that shit. So
There's a lot to it.
You kidding me? I gotta get like 2 to 3 videos out a day. I don't have time for all that
Mhm.
because I have to stay on my trends and on my videos. Unfortunately, TikTok isn't one of those platforms where you can post once every fucking 4 to 6 weeks and still be relevant, and the algorithm remember your posts. You've got
Yeah.
to post more frequently. They recommend up to 3 times a day.
Consistency.
Never more than 5 or 4,
Mm,
because then the For You page will throw you out because it thinks you're
mm,
spamming it. And if you get
mhm,
paid like me through my revenue per minute, my RPM, it will drop your RPM. Unfortunately,
mm.
because back when I posted that fucking Raymond Reddington one that's doing like 490,000 views right now, probably as we speak, it's past it. Unfortunately, when I posted that, I uploaded 6 videos in a day without realizing I had done it because I'd uploaded one at like after midnight that was political. Then I uploaded 1 in the morning, then waited 2 hours, upload another one, yada yada yada. And now the RPM in that video is many video. That video should have made me $200 to $300 for the video. It's only made me over $40 because my RPM dropped from a dollar
Mm.
14 per view after 1,000 or qualified view to 16 cents.
Yeah, that
So
hurts.
do not. Yeah, I know it does hurt, especially if it's my highest fucking viewed video. That kills me because
Yeah, that sucks.
the most money I've ever made off of one video is $320 fucking dollars. So, and
Wow.
I made off of one video in 3 days, $320. That's half of a regular person's fucking work week.
It is.
So it's like it hurts the pride, but like yeah, don't over spam. Just consistency, as John said. Don't just post bullshit either. Like if you're gonna take it seriously, have care with how you're posting. Make sure
Mm,
you have good audio. Make sure you've got good visual. Make
mm.
sure whatever you're doing is engaging. Have a call to action to your video. Oh my God, I couldn't believe this when I saw this. Or can we just talk about yada, yada, yada? Bro, that episode of Daredevil, though, within
Yeah.
the first 2, 3 seconds, because they did a study that the average person's attention span a decade ago was 10 seconds. It is now 4.5 seconds, is the average
So
attention span of an adult human.
that's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
10
So if you're
seconds.
going to make videos, guys, don't make long, winded intros taking forever to get your point to the actual main point of the video. Start it
Mm,
off with like what I do. You see what I do in my videos, folks? What I do is I'll go, man, the Joker voice that I do. God, why don't I do this, 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 and this? I don't know, but let's do it. Like that's what I started doing. My call to action is instead of starting
mm.
off with the voice, I got to hit a minute in 1 second to start getting paid for my videos once they pass 1,000 views. It has to be
Yep.
over 1 minute long.
Okay.
I never stop recording in a minute because once you cut it and trim the beginning and the end, it drops to like 58 seconds.
Mm,
Always record long enough to go over a minute and like 4 to 1 minute 5. So when you trim it, it hits a minute and 2. Okay.
mm. Okay.
And
Good
that's
advice.
why I started doing my intros because a lot of the monologues I'm reading off of this when I'm doing my actual videos, they should only really take me 35 seconds to get through. So I pad the beginning with a call to action, an explanation, and then get in. So because
Mm,
you want to hear it so badly, I'm tuning you up to wait. So I'll
mm,
go, so that's when I go, like today, the video I said, God, I'm going to try for the first time ever the Venom, my first ever Venom impression on the channel. I've never done it before, and I've never actually done Tom Hardy either. I don't know what voice he was using in the movie because I couldn't tell what accent it was supposed to be. But why don't we try this? Let's do it. And then I go straight into the actual thing. By then,
yeah.
I've already done 15 to 16 seconds. Okay. Now, but you've heard what I started with. Now you're intrigued. Oh,
A
he's going to
hook.
attempt it. I want to see if this is going to be great or crash and burn. Now you're hanging around.
Mm.
Okay.
That's smart.
And so, but then when I do the thing, I'm paying attention out of the corner of my eye to the timer on my thing to see how long it is. As soon as it hit a minute 6 seconds, I wrap it up.
Mm.
Then I
That's
trim
smart.
that split from let's do it, trim it back from when my hand touches to stop the camera, trim it back so you
Hmm.
don't see it, start it, run it all the way in, and at the end, I linger for a second to give that breath space. Trim it back. Minute and 2, minute 3, minute 4 seconds.
Boom.
That's
It's an
that's
artwork.
It's
It's an artwork,
that's
brother.
you gotta have consistency, but you gotta have a plan. There is a lot of minutia, but you've got to have a way that it makes sense, it works, and that it is feasible to what your goal and end game is of the video, and subsequently reaping the benefit of the content. But You don't want to lose people.
Mm.
They will swipe to the next one in point
4
two
seconds.
seconds. You, but most of the time, if someone sees something they've never seen before, they're like, "What's this?" In that
Mhm.
time it takes their brain to say, "What's this?" I don't care. Swipe,
Yeah.
have them. Get them in
Yeah.
the first 3 to 4 seconds. Get them. Oh my God, did you see that thing on Daredevil? Hold on, I'm sticking around. I saw Daredevil.
Yeah, yeah, that's 100% right though, because 'cause you'd be like, "Oh, what are they gonna say? What do they say? What are they gonna say? I need to know. I
Exactly.
need to see."
Like,
Yeah,
like,
that's
like
so
I'm
true.
sure you have videos where you go, I got the brand new Hot Toys Daredevil from She-Hulk. Like, and it's like, hold on. He said, I got the new Hot Toys. I like Hot Toys. He said Daredevil. Watching that shit right now. She-Hulk. I have some divisive thoughts on She-Hulk. What's he gonna say about She-Hulk? Let me hang around and see if I like this guy. Because if he says he likes She-Hulk, he's getting a comment. But if he
Yeah,
says he likes Daredevil, he's also getting a like and a subscribe. So it's like,
yeah,
you know, at the
it's
end of the
so
day,
true.
most followers, they're in it for their own hubris, not just
Mm,
entertainment. They're in it for their own hubris. They want to know that you like and think the same way they like and think. And they want to
mhm,
follow you because they feel like you like and think the way they like and think. And it's a very egotistical thing that attracts
yeah,
people to their followings, to becoming followers, subscribers. They
mm,
want to know that you agree with them, that you have a like minded thought process on the things that
mhm,
they care about. It 100% comes down to ego on me for going after my dream, positive ego, going after the things I want,
mhm,
but also the ego of I have to buy my own shit, right? So I've got to sit there and think, I can do this. I am good. I am great. These people like my stuff. You have to have a little bit of healthy ego in
you
there.
have to, you
It's what
have to.
keeps you motivated. But then
Mm,
you've got to think, well, my followers, some of these guys are only following me because they want to shit talk me. They want to disagree with me. And they want to constantly combat me in the comments. I have so many Trump supporters that follow me, thousands of them, thousands that trust me because I give the guy. I'm very, very impartial because I'm an independent. I'm not a
mhm,
Democrat or a Republican. I'm an independent. So I will give if he does something that I think is beneficial, I commend him on it. If he doesn't, I rip him to shreds.
mm.
But if I'm not sure, I'm indifferent, and I go, I'm not really sure how I feel about this. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Now I've engaged
That's
you to have a
engaging, that's
conversation with me.
engaging.
I want you to tell me what you think, and
Mhm.
everybody's got a fucking political opinion.
They do,
So,
especially online.
especially in America.
Yeah,
So, where everybody's right and everybody else is fucking wrong because you said you're right and they're wrong.
yeah,
And so
yeah.
it was such an easy thing because is it a little shitty to trap people in their own ego and hubris? Yeah, but at the same time, I didn't tell you to fucking type that mean ass shit in my comments.
That's right.
So you think I'm gonna feel bad that you ran up my engagement? And here's the thing: I made videos where I literally said, because I got over 15 death threats in 2 days,
Oh,
and
wow.
oh
Holy
yeah,
moly.
and I literally made a video of like, if you have to, first off, if you guys are death threatening me, is this exactly what it says? If you're sending me death threats over political opinions, I said you're pathetic, and I think you're fucking pathetic, and I think you're a sad piece of shit. And I said, you don't scare me. I ain't worried about you. I'm from Florida. If you try to follow me around in person or find out where I live because you're sending me these threats, just to let you know, we have non-concealed concealed carry permit in the state of Florida. I don't need a license to walk around with a fucking gun in my goddamn belt.
Yeah,
Okay,
bloody hell. That's
and I straight up
crazy.
said, and I said, I promise you, this is the yeehaw fuck the law state. I'll blow your ass off the street,
That's
not think
crazy
twice.
though. 15 death threats in 2 days just because
Yeah,
of
yeah.
commentary online.
And
Yeah,
here's the thing.
online's crazy.
And here's the thing, though. I fucking stuck it real home because you know what my favorite thing that I said was? And you guys can go back and check these videos. I ain't bullshitting here. These videos are still live on my channel. I ain't just blowing smoke. I literally said, thank you. Keep sending them. Keep sending me that hate. I said, because you're trying to
Engagement.
get my engagement. You're helping me. I said, your views and your hate, your vitriol, your anger, I said, you're paying me.
Yeah. Oh,
How
that's
does
gotta
that
hurt.
feel?
That's gotta hurt.
Yeah, because I wanted to hit him right back in the ego. You're going to death
Mm.
threat a stranger on the internet because you disagree with him. Well, guess what, motherfucker? Thanks for the clicks. Thanks for the
Yeah.
views. Because now I'm going to respond to you in the comments and argue with you on purpose to keep driving my engagement up.
Mm.
Because I can stop anytime I want. But you're so wound up, you can't help yourself but reply and
Yeah.
continue. And I'm
Fully.
using that against you, you
Yeah.
dumbass.
It's
Yeah.
it's a good spot you get them in when you get people like
Congratulations.
that.
Yeah, I
Cha-ching.
sold myself to you, and now you sell your ass
Cha-ching.
back to me.
That's a good
And
way
I
to
love it.
handle it.
I
That's a
love
good way to
haters.
handle it.
I love haters. I love them.
Well, you shouldn't be getting
Absolutely
any
love them.
for your voice acting. Surely none for your voice acting,
Oh, I
please.
have. Oh, I get a lot of it.
Really?
I get a
For the
lot.
voices? Oh
Oof.
my God.
I had someone just earlier today for no other reason, no reason, on the Raymond Reddington one. Blank profile pic, of course.
Of
Don't
course.
remember their name. It wasn't a user. Da 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 da. They just had no profile pic, and all they put was "you tried." Comment's still up there. You can go see it.
Ouch.
I had someone else the other day say, "God, this is so cringe. Grown ass men here or grown ass man here."
Yeah.
Like they say shit all the time.
I I would get that too
I
from
mean,
what I do.
oh, I believe it, and it's just
Mm.
like you know what? I'm happy. I'm healthy. My wife loves
Mhm.
me. I don't hurt nobody. I got a great dog. I got great friends. You think I give a fuck what you have to say?
No.
Again, thanks for the engagement, but kindly go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
You'll get more
That's
pussy
the
that
thing,
way.
like
You know?
the thing I find, like, when I finally embraced who I am and what I love, I don't worry about anything like that anymore. I'm like, "You can't affect my life." Like, you only
Yeah, the
get
hate doesn't
it
bother me. That's another
doesn't
thing
bother
about
me.
social media.
Yeah.
When you start getting success on these platforms, you
Mm.
don't realize it until it hits you. You grow some thick ass skin.
Yeah,
Like
you have to.
I've had some horrible shit said to me, like stuff that I actually had to report to TikTok and everything.
Wow.
For someone, the death threats they sent, they didn't just threaten me; they threatened my wife. They've never even,
Yeah.
they've only at that point I had never put my wife in a video on camera, and they still
Smart
threaten
move.
my wife because they watch my videos long enough to know that I'm married. And I just was like, okay. And they said some horrible shit. And I messaged him back. I said, "You come anywhere near me," I said, "I will skin you alive and make you eat it."
"Don't you know
And
I'm
I
Mr. Blood?" That should be you should be like, "Don't you know I'm Mr. Blood? I'll blood drop you, bitch." That's what you should say.
yeah, I'm the wrong fucking one. Come on, two fucking black belts, and I'm a trained wrestler. I will drop you on your neck.
Yeah. I will not say anything bad to you.
Like it's the thing is, I don't really believe in good and bad people, and I don't like saying I'm a nice guy because I have my days. But
We all do.
I'm easy to get along with. Let me put it that way. I'm a very easy to talk to. Will talk to you for hours, obviously, about
Mhm.
anything and everything because I just love people.
Mm.
But you push me, homie. Pardon my French, but I'm half black, half Polynesian, so that means I'm half a nigga and half a warrior. I will fuck you up. You know what I'm saying? Or I will go to the hospital trying to fuck you up. You know what I'm saying? Like
I'll go
like
out
you
on
know
my
what?
shield.
Like I might be going to prison, but you going to the morgue. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I don't care. Like the thing is, I'm here to have fun and enjoy it. You start
Yeah.
getting angry and threatening and all the other stuff, dude. This you just
There's
walk
no
into a
place
whole
for it.
damn ball game and you're in the ninth inning of an ass whooping you're not even aware of. And I'm about to
Yeah,
hit a home
unfortunately.
run off the fucking dome. You know,
Yeah.
like they're like, don't mistake people's internet personalities for they're just some stupid soft ass influencer. Nah, dude, I'm a regular everyday guy who had his first fucking job at 11 years old, face painting at a Beef O'Brady's for 3 fucking
What?
years. Got paid $20 an hour to do that. Paid my own phone bill when I was 11 years old. My own cell phone bill.
11.
11. Okay,
Yeah, I
I'm a
wouldn't
guy
ask for
who loves his wife, loves his dog, trains at the gym, runs, loves comic books, and I had my first open heart surgery when I was 2 weeks old. I got my chest sliced open. You think I'm
what?
afraid of you, bitch? Come on
Man,
now.
that's insane.
Oh,
That's
guess
insane.
what? I think my ring light died.
Oh,
It's
yes.
never
I
it's
did see the light drop off. Well, look,
it's
we can wrap.
never that's never happened. What the fuck? I think it's actually dead. Like I heard a buzzing, a fluttering, and then it's
Uh-oh.
oh no.
Oh no. Well, the light still looks good, but we can wrap it up here. Look, you kind of covered what I was going to ask you. As normally when I wrap it up, normally I ask what would be some advice you'd give to anybody else who's thinking about chasing their dreams. Um, or pursuing the dreams, like from what you've learned doing what you do, because you're literally following your dreams and doing what you love, which is something that I admire and something that I'm trying to do. um Other than what you've already said, I guess, what tidbits would you give to anyone else who's thinking of doing it but maybe too scared to get started or doesn't know where to start, I guess?
Uh,
You've kind of already
this
covered a lot, but
this is no, but this is advice that I actually give to my wife when she's having really really bad days.
okay.
And every day has to end eventually. Whether you
Hmm.
are, it ends with you in the ground, ends with you in the hospital, ends with you in a movie theater, ends with you in bed with some rockin' hot babe you met at the bar, ends with you sleeping on your friend's couch because you're too drunk to drive and you shouldn't do that. Uh, or it ends with you sitting on your couch watching your favorite show alone, or with your dog, or with your girl, or just in your own thoughts. Every day has to end. So why be afraid of tomorrow?
Mm,
Honestly, at the end of the day, you can start your dream now, afraid of how hard it's going to be to get it going. But then you got to think of the other part of that. What are you going to be thinking 5 years from now
mm,
when you're 5 years into it and you're a pro at it, or you're the best in your field, or you've inspired someone else, or you're like me just a few days ago in Target signing your first autograph because someone recognized you?
yeah.
And this girl ripped open a pack of markers at Target she hadn't bought, ripped out a piece of notebook paper from a notebook she hadn't bought, and was going to buy it just so she could get my autograph and not get in trouble with the fucking store security. And asked me to get a picture with her. What are you going to do when you get those messages like I got when someone literally says that your content saved their life?
Mm,
Why on earth would you not start? Why on earth would you not fucking go for it?
yeah.
Why? What's holding you back? You.
Mm,
You're holding you back. Get out of your own way. One of the greatest lessons you can ever learn as an adult: get out of your own way.
mm,
Let the greatness lead you. Let the perseverance and the fucking love of the game just drive you. Everything else is fucking background noise. Everybody who was ever considered great, the Jordans, the Michael Jacksons, I hate his guts, but the Trumps, the Elon Musks, Nikola Teslas, the Martin Luther Kings, the fucking Robert Downey Juniors, the Daniel Day Lewises, the fucking
mm.
Todd McFarlanes, okay, Stan Lees, okay, they all started exactly like you: a
Mm.
passion, a want to do something, no idea how to execute it until they did.
Oh, that's awesome, bro. That's so true, and it's 100% right. You hit the nail on the head. You hit the nail on the head. Nothing is stopping you but yourself. You just got to give it a go. We're giving it a go. I'm giving it a go. You're giving it a go. What else can you ask in life but to actually give it a go? I think
Yeah.
so. Thank you so much, mate. I really appreciate you coming on to chat
Thanks for
today.
having me, man. This
And
has
thanks
been
for doing
so
the
much
voices
fun.
too.
Yeah,
I did want to ask. I did
I
want
kind
to
of
ask.
had to. I
I didn't
had
want to
to.
ask, but I'm like, I want him to, but I don't want to ask. Is that
Now,
rude?
if I'm on one of these, if I'm on one of these, I feel like I'm doing a disservice by not doing it. 'Cause,
Well, I
so,
appreciate it. I'm going to hit you up another time. Be like, can you do my voicemail as the Goblin? Thank you.
I've
Cheers.
had so many people ask me that, and I tell everybody absolutely. So I will totally do your voicemail.
That
Um,
is so
uh,
cool.
don't forget to send me those shelves.
Oh
I gotta
yes.
know. But
I was thinking,
uh,
hang around when I end it. Hang around
oh yeah,
backstage for a second, and I'll
absolutely,
tell you because
absolutely.
it'll cut off. But I want everybody. I'll put your links to your TikTok, to your Instagram and YouTube and everything. I'll put it in the description below, so you can go find Mr. Bludd's channel, and don't forget to like, subscribe, give him a follow, watch his videos. They're truly amazing. The voice acting ones are my favorite. I love. I haven't finished the Diddy Party one and the storylines yet, so I'm going to go finish those those. But I love all your voice impressions, and I just love watching it because I love seeing people get creative with their voice like that. So I think thanks for sharing your story from everything, mate. That's what this show's about. So I really appreciate everything that you shared with us today. And everybody, please go give him a follow. But until next time, well, hopefully next week when I'm trying to do one show a week. We'll get there. But until next time, guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one.